Hello, everybody. Hi there, everyone out there in Facebook land and in YouTube land. Welcome to another episode with the Blackspinner podcast. Today's episode, we're going to be doing the top 10 of 1992. And today, I got a lot of special guests with me today. Today, I have Al Horta with Be Cool or Be Podcast Out.
Hey.
Who's also the resident fact checker here.
What? Messy room and all.
And also we have
look at my room.
Jerry Supa from the BS sessions with Marc and Jerry. And we got how's it going? We got the other half with us today as well. We've got Marc Alden Taylor from the BS sessions with Marc and Jerry, also from the Freeform podcast. And today we have also Kate Dore from the International House of Vinyl here with us today. And we are going to be tackling our own top 10 of 1992. We might have 50 different albums. We tend to have that. We might have a lot of different genres and a lot of different surprises. So that sounds great. But before we start, I do have a little segment that we do called the Year in Review, since we're doing 1992. In 1992, can anyone guess who won the Super Bowl that year?
Cowboys.
Nope.
Giants.
Washington Redskins.
Redskins?
Yep. Mark Rippon was the MVP.
Yeah. Was that the wide right Scott Norwood? No, that was against the Giants, wasn't it?
No, that was Giants and Buffalo.
Giants and Buffalo.
Yeah. The World Series of 1992. Can anyone guess the World Series of 1992?
Blue Jays?
Was it the Yankees?
Was the Blue Jays, Jerry.
Blue Jays, oh.
Yeah, it was the Blue Jays. And this one should be easy because they conquered the early 90s, but the NBA Finals of 1992. Bulls, yep. And the Stanley Cup for 1992.
Was it the Rangers?
No. Penguins,
okay.
It was
Rangers
the Penguins.
94.
Okay.
And the highest grossing sales album of 1992. It was released in 91, so it's not going to be in any of our list here. But what was the highest grossing sales of 1991 album-wise?
Probably Nirvana,
Give me a
right?
second.
Yeah, probably Nevermind.
That was number 2.
Was it the
Michael Jackson?
No.
Oh, okay.
Bodyguard soundtrack?
Yeah.
Which one?
The Bodyguard
soundtrack.
No.
That's the number one song, is that Whitney Houston doing Dolly
You're talking
Parton.
about the top grossing in 92?
Right.
And
It was released in 91.
Pearl Jam.
10, exactly.
Really?
Pearl Jam.
Good.
Good one.
Yeah, really good.
And what won for best album Grammy-wise?
Oh, jeez. The Bodyguard.
No. I got this and I wanted to put it on my list, but I couldn't.
You're talking about rock album?
Oh, well, no. What won Grammy?
What was the genre? Give us a hint.
Rock.
Okay. Pearl Jam.
It was a live album.
Oh, Eric Clapton.
Unplugged?
Eric Clapton Unplugged.
Gotcha.
Yep. And what was the song of the year?
Tears in Heaven?
Tears in Heaven. Yep. And let me see a couple more. What was the highest grossing movie of 1992?
Bodyguard.
No. Bodyguard's none of these answers. None.
Jurassic Park?
No.
Debbie does Dallas.
No.
Hey,
It's based on a comic book, DC.
Batman?
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns. Okay.
Yep.
Batman was 89, dude. Come on.
And what won Oscar for Best Picture?
Probably something stupid.
No, it's not stupid. You would think it was, but no, it's not.
How about Dances with Wolves?
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs.
It's weird for a horror movie to win.
Yeah.
They got it right for once.
Yeah, they got it right there.
And last but not least, the number one watched TV show of 1992.
Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap. I really thought it was going to be Seinfeld, but Seinfeld was number 25.
Friends?
No.
That just kind of started, I think.
Cheers?
Probably like Full House or something like that.
Cheers was in the top 10, but it wasn't number one.
All right,
it was in the same network. It was on ABC.
Give me 1 second here.
Well, ABC,
Yeah,
those were not.
something
Those were on
TGIF.
ABC.
Yeah.
Was it
Family Matters?
I think Married with Children.
No.
No.
Married with
Cosby
Children
Show.
would never make that. Should be the number one show.
Cosby Show?
Oh, Roseanne.
Roseanne. Jerry got it. Roseanne was the number one. And so, hey, well, that was pretty fun to go through what was going on in 1992, the pop culture stuff that was going on. But now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We'll do our top 10, and then after that, we'll go around and do our honorable mentions. All right?
All right, sounds good.
So we'll go in order that shows here. We'll go Al, Jerry, Mark, Kate, and myself. Okay, are y'all ready to roll?
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so number 10,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Kiss's Revenge. For me, like, when I saw the Unholy video on MTV, I'm like, yes, man, they're back. Like, Gene is back to being menacing, and they're heavy. And
That song was very promising.
yeah, and they got like a good look again. They're not like glammy. They're like in black leather, and and I listened to the album a lot, like during '92. Nowadays, I feel like this album's a bit overrated, though it does have filler in it. But I gotta go with it at number 10 because I did listen to it a lot in '92, and it was like a return to form for Kiss. So, and that song
it was such an optimistic album because they had Crazy Nights and Hot in the Shade before that. People were like, "Yeah, Kiss is back" when they heard Unholy.
Yeah,
I wasn't a Kiss fan back there, so that didn't make my top 10 at all.
Yeah, but
I mean, I
was
put the top 10 that I was just jamming during that year.
Yeah,
And still, basically, I jam all these albums still.
But
I love Domino. Domino, that's one of my favorite Gene Simmons songs.
Yeah, I like the Gene songs on here a lot. Like Paralyzed was really good too.
I like Heart of Chrome. I think that's my favorite song.
Heart of Chrome was cool. Spit.
I love Spit.
Thou Shalt Not. That was cool.
That's a cool tune. Yeah.
And then the filler for me was like God Gave Rock and Roll. I never really liked that one.
Come on, Bill and Ted, man.
Every time I look at you.
Every time I look at you, it's just them trying to rewrite Forever again.
I liked Forever. That was a cool song.
I like Forever.
I like Forever the ballad, but every time I look at you, it was just I don't know.
What's that song? I got a body built for speed and an appetite for
that was I Just Wanna.
Yeah, I don't care for that one either.
Yeah. So, but in hindsight, it's got filler and it's a bit overrated. But at the time, it was better than Crazy Nights and Hot in the Shade. So definitely return to form. And on tour too, they brought back a lot of great old songs, and it was a great tour. So that's my number 10. Though I'm going with that one.
You should got to see Paul when he could sing.
Revenge. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Because he ain't shit now.
He ain't spit to me.
That's wrong, guys. All right. Sorry, Jerry, what's your number 10?
So there goes the Neighborhood Body Counts debut album. Not their debut, but I think is that their debut?
Yeah, it's their debut.
Yeah.
Their debut.
Man, Ice-T can do anything, man. Ice-T's cool. I mean, Ernie C's guitar riffs on it are just jamming, man. Just in your face. Punk metal. I mean, it was a breath of fresh air at the time for me.
Look, bro.
It was just
They got the CD long box, baby.
CD long box.
there you go.
Yeah.
I only got the Metallica record store day one.
I had a chance to see them, man. I passed it up, and I regret it, man. I would have loved to have seen that concert.
They're still playing.
They are. I know.
Yeah, they came by a couple years ago, and I didn't go. And I really wanted to because their last couple of albums were just as good too.
They did a good version of Institutionalized by Suicide.
Yeah, I've heard that was pretty good. I'm sitting there playing I'm playing my Xbox. That's a good jam.
Yeah, Ice-T had it all, man. He's awesome on SVU. I love him on that show. I like some of his rap stuff, and he kicked the ass with Body Count.
Yeah, it's like on some of that Iceberg Freedom of Speech. Just watch what you say. There's a couple of tracks on there that sound like they're leading to Body Count in that album.
You can't forget New Jack City either. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Movie.
Remember when people got shot in a movie theater on New Jack City?
Did they really?
Yeah, there's a lot of shootings in that movie. That was like the first movie theater shooting.
That's my number 10.
The first one, like it's some kind of. All right, Mark, what's your number 10?
I'm gonna have it's gonna be all rock and metal for me, or sleaze rock, or metal, or rock and roll. I saw this tour. I love this band, and I still love it. I want a number 3 album. Damn Yankees Don't Tread.
Good album.
I fucking love this album. I still play it. And Jack Blades is like I'm wearing Night Ranger right here. Saw them for the first time. Jack Blades is like ear candy to me. His solo albums, anything he does, it's just. And then Tommy Shaw. It's like these two together are gold. And Ted's guitar playing is just amazing on this album. Freaking Uprising that he sings, and then they come in and it's you feel an uprising. They're Tommy Shaw and Jack Blades just blend together. I love this album. Great show too.
There was a good marriage of those three.
Oh God, they need to get back together.
Yeah.
Was that their second one, right?
Yeah.
Second one.
Yeah, two and out, man.
So they made a third one, but it got canned, and some of the songs went on their solo albums, Night Ranger albums, and shit.
I think like Shaw Blades too, right?
No, it was like the song Kompunski went on his Cage album, and some other songs. And then Sean Blaze just did that one album I have is pretty good. Their covers album is pretty good too, where they do California Dreaming and stuff like that.
Huh. Check that out.
Influence. Good album.
Hey, what's going on with you? What's number 10?
So I don't think I've talked about him before, but I don't think I've ever put him in one of these. That I went with Weird Al's Off the Deep End.
Oh, cool.
That one's the like rip off of the Nirvana cover for Nevermind.
Right.
I love Weird Al. He's a brilliant musician. Like just changing lyrics and doing everything. Like he really is super talented. And then I've seen him live, and it was one of the best shows I've ever seen. Yeah. He does like 50 costume changes. This was in 2018. So he's like in his 50s, running around the crowd, going crazy. Like he's awesome. So if you guys can get the chance to see him live, I recommend it.
Yeah, he's coming to Houston in October.
Go see him.
He's coming here sometime. I don't remember. I remember he announced he's coming here at the Ryman. So
with Emo Phillips opening up.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, the emo thing would be sweet. They did that tour here, and I don't remember why we couldn't go. It was emo and Weird Al, but if they are back, I would totally catch that because emo's a trip too. He's like bizarre as all get out, but he is something else.
I remember he came out when we were probably all in high school, and he was on like HBO. You're going, what the hell is this dude talking about?
What is happening? I know. Yeah, I love him too. So that would be well worth it.
Yeah.
Remember Weird Al's takeover of MTV, Owl TV?
Yeah.
I remember when Kurt Cobain said he realized he made it big when Weird Al did the parody of one of his songs.
Right. I mean, that's a huge compliment. Like some people, I think, like when he did Gangster's Paradise, and people were like going to murder him because they thought he was making fun of it. But it's like you should take it as a compliment that he's covering you. Like you're big enough to be made fun of. Yeah. So I agree with Cobain. Got it. He understood.
Yeah. So did Michael Jackson. But Weird Al wanted to do more Michael Jackson songs, but he only okayed 2.
Yeah.
I think Prince didn't let him do any.
No, Prince is too serious about himself, I think, to be made. Well, it's not even being made fun of. It's just making fun things out of your music. But
yeah.
I want a new Duck Rules.
Yeah, if you can go see him, I highly recommend it. And
did you guys ever see The Funny or Die with Weird Al and Huey Lewis?
Nope.
No.
You never saw that? So. Where they're doing, the movie with Christian Bale where he's the murderer? He puts
American Psycho.
American Psycho. Yeah. Huey Lewis is sitting there explaining it, and Weird Al go, why is the plastic on the couch? And he goes, he's explaining the movie American Psycho to Weird Al.
Right.
And then he goes, and then he freaking just bludgeons Weird Al. Did I cover my song again?
Well, that's because in American Psycho, I just happen to have this sitting by me because I listened to it the other day. But American Psycho, he's like going on and on about Huey Lewis's sports.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that film. It is.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what he's talking about. So that's funny that they did that.
Look up Weird Al and Huey Lewis doing that.
I'm sure I've seen it. Just it's not in here anymore, but I'll check it out again for sure.
Yeah, I want to check that out too because there's an app for it on the TV for Funny or Die. Yeah. I like the one when they do the Saved by the Bells, and Zach Morris is trash, and they break down why he's trash, and the Saved by the Bell episodes.
I know me and Al like the Rush one for My Love You Man.
Oh yeah, man.
That's the Neil Peart sandwich. Oh, you won't mind.
They're the holy triumvirate. They're guys they're just like you and me.
And then Geddy Lee goes, slapper the bay.
I gotta check that out too. Man,
there's a lot of good stuff on Funny or Die.
They use that on the time.
You can get lost in there.
Mm-hmm.
My number 10 is going to be Faith No More.
Ooh,
great one.
Yeah.
Angel Dust.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. I do like Mike Patton, but when he's with Faith No More, let me just say Faith No More is my favorite band because he's got so many with Mike Patton. Because he's got so many different projects, but this is just easier accessible when he's Faith No More. It's kind of like good solid rock with a twist to it, and I like that twist. But yeah, Faith No More's Angel Dust. It was a good album.
Is that with like Easy Like Sunday Morning on there? Easy.
Yeah, it's got Easy Like Sunday Morning, but it's a bonus track.
I only like 4 or 5 songs by that band. When he gets to that, I can't take it.
But that's the thing about Mike Patton is that he uses his voice as another instrument.
He has a lot of range. Yeah, because I sent you guys that band that he does, that Peeping Tom. But yeah, he has so much stuff. It's just all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like Maynard and him, I feel like, are on that level of like they're all over the place.
I like Tool though.
Les Claypool's all over the place too. Like he can do anything, and those guys can do anything. Yeah.
Al, what's your number 9?
9.
Saigon Kick, The Lizard.
Great record. Love it.
I
forgot about that one. Damn.
Love this album, man.
That was made the list for me.
I actually have the CD long box too. It's actually signed by Matt Kramer, the singer.
Damn,
and
nice.
I'm friends with him on Facebook. He's really cool. Like I correspond with him a lot.
Oh wow.
Our band used to do All I Want from that album.
Yeah, All I Want. That's a great song. Hostile Youth. Feel the Same Way.
Of course, Love Is on the Way. They're a big hit.
That's a great ballad, though, man.
Is that on there?
Yeah,
Love Is on the Way. Is it?
This was the last one. This was the last one with Matt Kramer on vocals. He was only on the first 2, and then he left. He left the band, and Jason Bieler took over vocals for the rest of the albums. But to me, the first 2 albums are the best. I love Matt Kramer as a vocalist. He's got kind of that Jim Morrison vibe to him, and I really thought Saigon Kick should have been bigger. To me, they were kind of like a bridge between like the 80s hard rock and like 90s alternative. They were kind of like.
I think they got lumped in with the 80s bands, unfortunately.
Yeah, they got lumped in with the hair bands, but they were far from it. I think, to me, honestly, I think Love Is on the Way probably didn't do them any favors, though. They had that same thing with Extreme. You know, it was kind of a noose around their neck. They only really got known for that one song.
But such a good song, though.
Mr. Big also.
Yeah, Mr. Big as well. But I mean, they were heavy as shit on this album, man. I mean, Hostile Youth, man. That riff is fucking killer. But so that's gonna be my number 9. Is gonna be The Lizard by Saigon. This is I got this on Record Store Day. They finally released it on vinyl. So
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I kind of listened to that because like others, and just like you said, I kind of put them to the side. You know, I really did.
Me
so
too.
now
I spun that album a lot in '92, man. And you know, Love Is on the Way. They got a lot of radio airplay here in the New York area. I remember on like.
Oh yeah, that song was everywhere for a while.
Yeah.
It was a hit. I mean, it made money, but it also probably slowed their career down at the same time. You know.
Yeah.
And those harmonies were great.
And Matt Kramer leaving too. You know, I guess, and the whole grunge thing coming in. And just, I thought they could have held their own against them had they held it together, but they fell apart, unfortunately. So
Well,
that's not mine.
record companies started to ignore that and go for the popular money.
Yeah, it's like Warren said when they went into the CBS, Cherry Pie was taken down and Alice in Chains was all over the place.
Yeah.
They just ignored them.
Jerry, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is okay. I'm a softie, okay.
Go for it.
And this is a very underrated album from him.
Bodyguard?
Because it's mostly ballads.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it with his songwriter Bernie Taupin.
Mm-hmm.
It was Elton John's The One album.
Ooh.
There's a lot of beautiful songs on it. And if you can sit through the last song without tearing up, it's called The Last Song, is the name of the song. And you're a better man than that song will make you cry every time you hear it. At least it does for me, because it reminds me of my dad a lot. So that's why it's sentimental to me.
Yeah.
And I love Elton John. That guy's a freaking genius, man.
Yeah, he is.
I like the 70s until I'm Still Standing.
I like every era of Elton John. The guy just writes gold, man. He probably
that was Bernie Taupin.
Use the language, but he's that talented. I mean, but it's amazing how he can't write lyrics, though. But he can put a song together like nobody can.
I would go see him at Dodger Stadium. He's playing 3 dates, but that's expensive as hell.
Yeah, it is.
He was just here, and it was
like too much.
I would pay a lot for Billy Joel though, because I've seen Billy Joel before. I'd see Billy Joel in a second.
But getting back to that album, like I said, it's mostly ballads. I get that people don't like listening to ballads. I love ballads. I'm a sucker. I'm a sad.
I love ballads also.
I love ballads, and especially they're written so good. Love it.
I don't know who the songwriters were with them on the album. I have to look at it again. But man, there's some beautiful songs on that record.
I gotta
give it one listen to, man. If you can, just put on your headphones one night and just give it a listen.
I gotta revisit that because that was one of the last things I bought from a Columbia House. Was the one?
Did you buy it or did you get it for free?
Let's just say my mom bought it.
I had about 15 fake names or more.
Santos L. Helper.
And did you guys ever hear of a movie? Remember when HBO did their own movies? It was called "And the Band Played On."
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was about the history of the AIDS virus.
Right.
Yeah. That song, the last song, was the song that played at the very end of that movie. It's just, man, it affects me every time I hear that song. That's why it's on my list.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
Matthew Modine and Alan Alda and a whole bunch of stars were in that movie. Steve Martin was in it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, really? Steve Martin's coming to town, and he's probably going around where y'all are. He's coming with what's his name?
Martin Short.
Martin Short. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you seen their new show on Hulu?
I haven't watched it yet. No,
I tried.
Really good.
They had a weird thing with some young. Who's the musician?
Selena
the young girl.
Gomez?
Yeah. That's
really,
like
she's a
the
good
tour.
Actress.
That's funny that's the tour though. That's like
it's
Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez.
Oh, Selena Gomez is on the tour with them?
That's the other person in that. And then
two amigos and an amiga.
I think I watched them on like Bill Maher or something. I can't remember. They did an interview on something, and it was interesting to think of how old they are and how young she is, and they're like a comedy troupe.
Oh well, they must get along real well for that show.
Yeah.
We are at Mark. Mark, what's your number 9?
Hey Jerry, before I get to my number 9, dude, I will always love you. I love you, brother. All right. I don't have this album anymore, but I have it on digital because it got stolen a million times and I stopped buying it, but now I could buy it again. But Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power.
Oh man.
That album kicks ass. Walk. Freaking the album just rules. It's
there
like,
you go.
There it is right there. I need to get that again, man, but I have it on digital, but I love it. It's a killer album, and it's freaking one of the like all-time metal albums of all time.
I think I might have an extra disc. Maybe I'll send it to you if I find it.
Oh, cool.
Well, I was going to buy it off some guy later.
I was going to buy it off some guy. He was going to give me that and freaking Cowboys from Hell on vinyl for like $40 for both of them, but he doesn't take what is it called?
PayPal.
And I go, well, I don't. Venmo just like cuts me off for some reason, so I couldn't send him anything. I was so irritated.
That's odd. Everybody takes PayPal now. It seems.
I know. He said he had a problem with PayPal. I had a problem with Venmo. I don't know why. So,
but the great album, Pantera. We're going to play a part.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Kate, what's your number 9?
I went with Grave Dancers Union Soul Asylum.
That's
a great album.
So I always, for a long time, thought this was like their debut album because that Runaway Train is like their big hit. And it's not. Their first album's in like 1984. Which I'm like, I don't know if I've ever heard any of their other albums.
The more earlier albums were punk.
More punky.
Their last 2 albums are pretty good too. It was just the dude Dave.
I love that song they did in Clerks. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a really good.
The one where they're playing hockey on the roof. The video.
So. Yeah, that's the movie that I remember.
Yeah.
I remember
no, they had a video where they're playing hockey with them on the roof.
Oh, that's probably it then. Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. I need to listen to more of them. But
I love Clerks, man. That's a great movie. I love both of them actually.
Good.
I can't wait for the third one.
The album after that is really good. I think it's better than Grave Dancers Senior. I can't remember it right now, but it's really freaking good.
It was the one with the Misery on it.
Yeah, I love that song.
Good pick though, Kate.
Very good.
Great pick. I love April Fool off that album. I think that's my favorite song off that album.
I saw they call it Soul Asylum, but it was really Dave Pirner and some. But man, Dave Pirner was so great. I saw him like maybe about 5 or 6 months ago. He was fantastic.
Yeah, I got his they have a newer album, but I have the album before that. It's really good with a monkey on the cover.
I think this new one was an EP that came out. Yeah. My number 9, Kate has it back there with her. There's Sublime's 40 Ounce to Freedom. The only reason why it's not higher is because it's like 22 tracks and like an hour and 17 minutes.
It's a double.
Yeah. So that's why it's not higher. But man, it's so fun to listen to. It goes in so many different directions.
Is that the one?
The music is amazing. It takes turns here and there. And 40 Ounce to Freedom. This was their debut album. This one here and then was
the only song I know from them is are they want to sing that song "What I Got," right?
Yeah,
it's a big guitar bonfire song.
You don't know. I smoke 2 joints in the morning. I smoke 2 joints in the afternoon. Everything feels all right. And Santeria, I don't practice Santeria.
The 90s are, like I said, they're weird for me because
I never bought that album, but I like the song.
I had to play Father during those years.
Yeah, that was
you miss a lot if you're parenting.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. This is a great year for debut albums, though. Like thinking about how many, there's a lot of killer debut albums that came out this year.
I think I have one of them.
So that is my my number 9 is Sublime. I got that Sublime, the one that y'all are talking about with What I Got and Centuria on picture disc. And I'll never buy another picture disc again because it just doesn't sound that good.
It sounds like crap.
Most picture discs don't play well.
I have Striper Yellow and Black Attack. That sounds like shit.
The only time I've seen it be good is if it's like literally in the middle and then it's pressed around. I don't know how to explain what you guys get what I mean.
I don't know, but people always try to sell me picture disc. I said no.
And that's about the only one I got because I love that album. And when I found it on picture disc, I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then I got home, I said, this is not very cool at all.
The Big Sun one, the Badfish one. Or is it?
No, it's and especially
picture discs are just good for displaying.
Yeah, you gotta hang it on a wall.
I think Ralph Vieira has his all displayed. He doesn't play them.
Yeah. Here it is. Finally, it's this one here.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound that great.
I can't believe they went on with Sublime in Rome because freaking the guy wrote all the songs.
It's like Brad Null dies and then
and I think they toured those songs too.
They did Long Beach Dub All Stars for a while, and
Yeah.
then they come back with Sublime with Rome. But if you guys are into Sublime, the one to see is called Badfish. So it's a Sublime cover band.
I heard they're great.
Those guys are a punk band, and then they'll do their band, which is called Scotty Don't, and then they come out again, which everyone switched instruments, and they come out as Badfish. And if you didn't know Brad Knoll was dead, you would think you were seeing real Sublime. Like, that's how good they are. I've seen them like 6 times. I don't even know. Wow. But like they're phenomenal.
It's like that band Wild Child I saw in the 90s. They are a really good Doors cover band.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
That song,
I wonder if he's doing the fat Jim Morrison now, because he's really skinny back
the time's gone by enough for him to be fat Jim.
Yeah, he's doing LA Woman.
Oh. What were you gonna say, Al?
Al, you were gonna add something?
No. No.
I thought you were talking.
But Bradley Knoll, after he passed away and all that, of course, they also had released a acoustic set of his.
Yeah, that was for the live show. I almost had "Stand by Your Van" was their live album that they put out. So that's worth checking out. I love that. That's really, really good.
Oh yeah, I used to have it on CD, and I just
Stand by Your
Van. Stand by Your Van.
Stand by Your Van, VAN.
Oh, van. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been an interesting cover.
Yeah.
Here in my van.
If you guys ever get to go to Vegas, Hard Rock Casino and Hotel has his acoustic guitar and his notebook, so you can see all his lyrics and stuff that he wrote. Really
Hard
cool.
Rock is closed. It's now something else.
The Hard Rock Casino closed?
They closed it. Yeah, it's now Virgin.
I wonder where that is. I don't.
They're building a new Hard Rock there right now.
Okay, I wonder if
because I did go there. I took a lot of pictures of Prince's stuff and Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and I was winning a lot in Hard Rock. I was pissed they closed that one.
Yeah,
I love the Hard Rock. They have one in Myrtle Beach we go to just about every year. It's pretty awesome.
Al, what's your number 8?
8.
Ministry, Psalm 69.
No, what are we at? 7? We just
We're number 8.
Right?
That was a tough one for me. I had to get rid of it though.
I was really starting to get into industrial around this time, and Ministry. This was a great album. I spun this a lot. New World Order, Jesus Build My Hot Rod, Just One Fix. Great album. I just saw them recently, and Hal Jorgensen's still a fucking badass.
Yeah, I saw them a couple of years ago, and man.
Yeah,
I didn't put that on my list, but that is a great album because we used to drive and get really stoned to that album.
Oh, me too, man.
We used to get really high to that album. That was like amazing album.
You Built My Hot Rod was like the kicker for me, being like, I'll listen to this band.
I'm gonna go see them next month again.
From like 92 to like 94 was like the lost years for me. I was in the constant haze, I think.
I think you're around my age, dude. I was like, 91? I was like 21.
Yeah. But I'm a little younger than you.
A little younger. I was like 21.
I was born in 72.
I was born in 70. So you're like 2 years younger than me.
I'm 71.
I'm 74.
We're in the same wheelhouse there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I drove around with my friends listening to that album too, smoking a lot of bud.
Yeah.
And Just One Fix.
Yeah. We used to go to this place in freaking Chatsworth. It was like a train tunnel. We used to go there and drink and smoke and watch the trains go by and hike up to it.
That's awesome. Yeah, but that barely.
We go back to my friend's house, and he was like,
"You know what? One thing I always was good at when I get wasted, I was never put myself in a situation where I would kill myself like hanging around a train."
No. There was a cove. We would sit in a tunnel. I saved my friend. She fell on the train track, and I pushed her to the side when the train was coming.
No. So haven't you guys ever watched Fried Green Tomatoes? Like, get out of here. Playing on train tracks.
Love Kathy Bates. That was a good movie.
It was like a cave, and there was like we could sit on the side and watch the trains go by and get really high.
They scare the hell out of me. Oh my god.
Well, it's like if I'm at a gun range, I'm not going to drink or get stoned. You know what I mean?
No.
I always try to do that in places where I won't kill myself. I'm just giving you shit, Mark. I always give you shit.
I know.
Believe it or not, he gives me more shit than I give him. So,
yeah, Anthrax. Yeah, Anthrax hater.
Jerry, what do you got for number 8?
Number 8. I have Peter Gabriel's Us album.
Ooh.
I love Peter Gabriel. I mean, great songs on that album. Steam, Secret World, and Blood of Eden, man. If you haven't heard that song, man, listen to it. It's a great song. Another great artist, man. Of course, he's with Genesis. We all know that.
Yeah.
Puts on a great show, too, live. I got to see him live on that tour. And, he's always never had a bad album, I don't think, in my opinion.
Dude, last
great videos, too, man. He made MTV, I think, with his Sledgehammer video.
The Covers album was horrible, though.
It wasn't bad.
It was not that good.
Nah.
But
I'm actually starting to get into his Genesis era records lately.
Dude,
too.
The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. It was amazing.
Foxtrot.
I was kind of hoping they would have let him on the stage in that last tour, but he was there, though, right?
He was there.
Yeah, he was there.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
I wish Peter Gabriel would do Genesis songs in his set, but he doesn't.
He won't do that. Yeah,
he completely.
Steve Hackett's doing those right now.
Oh, I've seen Steve Hackett twice, and he's great.
Yeah.
So that's the only way you're going to hear the old Genesis.
Yeah.
It's so funny that y'all are talking about this, but okay. But y'all go ahead.
Okay, that's my number 8. He got a great bass player in his band too, Phil Levin, man. Guy who plays in all kinds of albums. He did like Momentary Lapse of Reason, the bass for that, and all kinds of stuff. He plays this weird thing, like long fingernails. Yeah, he taps it. I don't know what it's called. Then you guys know about the bass.
The stick, Chapman stick.
That's it. Yes.
Did you know that Phil Levin played on Lawrence Gowan's solo albums?
He plays on everything.
The whole Peter Gabriel band played on Lawrence Gowan's albums.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And Phil, that's one of his favorite albums to play on. Was A Criminal Mind by Lawrence Gowan.
That's surprising me, now. But like I said, he plays on everything, so it doesn't surprise me it gets that much.
Yeah.
And I think he did The Last Temptation of Christ, the soundtrack, didn't he? Or something like that?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Peter Gabriel did that, yeah.
Oh,
I didn't like that one.
Yeah. Okay.
I do like Us. It's a really good album.
Yeah.
I like the one after it with the Barry something show where it's talking about like a Maury show or whatever. It's pretty cool.
Mark, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is Megadeth, Countdown to Extinction. I don't have that on vinyl or CD because people stole that shit back in the day and I didn't keep it. I still haven't rebought it. Freaking High Speed Dirt, dude. That's not even a single. That song just rules. There it is right there, man.
One of the coolest riffs ever.
Freaking album.
This is actually the 20th anniversary box set one. Nice. So it's kind of cool. It's a box.
I need to get
awesome.
That, man.
It's got a live show in it. It's really cool.
Foreclosure of a Dream, freaking High Speed Dirt, Symphony of Destruction. That album rules. It's just like it's freaking just amazing rhythms on it. I love it.
Going through this list, I could have literally picked out a handful of things that Andy and Al were going to have on their list.
That's fine. Kate, what's your number 8?
This one I'm going with Dr. John. Dr. John put out Going Back to New Orleans, and this one has a lot of different stuff where he does a few of his own things, but then he's doing old New Orleans like Dixieland songs.
Oh yeah.
He does Basin Street Blues. I don't know if you guys know that song. That's a really big, famous, like every Dixieland band does that. And then the cover he does on this of Goodnight Irene. So that's an old Leadbelly song. I love Leadbelly. I love all incarnations of people doing Goodnight Irene. Yeah, Dr. John. If you guys don't know him, you got to check him out because he just does so much good stuff.
I don't have any records by him, but every time he comes on, I keep him. He's really good.
Yeah,
it's been a wrong time. You know, I love that. I love that scratchy voice he has.
I love his voice and like anything spooky or New Orleans stuff. I love. He's a good human. Like during all of Katrina and everything, like he was out on the street giving away food and going around. Like he still really supported his area that he was in. I mean, he passed away now, but he was awesome in just giving back to the community, you know. So he's a good dude.
I always hear about him and stuff like that, but I just never have spun it, or except for that
yeah.
that big song that y'all were talking about.
Right place.
Right place at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm. Check out the album that's off of. I would highly recommend that. Gree is awesome. That's really good. I don't know. I'll send you some stuff.
Oh well, yeah, that, and of course I'm writing down everybody's picks so that I can go through everybody's albums.
This out of all his albums, this is like lower on my list. If I ranked all his albums, this is a lot lower on my list, but he's phenomenal. He was a guitar player, and I don't know the specific instance, but he was shot in the hand and couldn't play guitar anymore. So then he went to piano. It's like that's when he got famous. So it's like, is this thing that happened to him what made him in a way? Like is that some weird twist of fate that's how he ended up getting famous? Is that he was a good piano player? But I don't know. Hard to say, but it was just an interesting thing that I was thinking about the other day, thinking about him. Like, would he have been as famous?
It's like, it's kind of like Tony Iommi with his finger getting cut off, and
yeah,
a whole different
I'm playing. He did a thimble, right?
On his finger. Some kind of,
but like a metal thimble, I think, right?
No, he melted down plastic.
Yeah,
and then covered the plastic with leather so he can grip the strings.
Yeah, okay. I watched something about it a few weeks ago after we were talking about all that stuff. So that,
but that's what gave the different.
But it made that sound,
string, though, right?
Yeah. So it's like, would that have been as famous without him having an accident, or like?
Yeah.
The one I think of all the time is Django Reinhardt. I don't know if you guys listen to Django, but Django is like, was hurt in a fire.
He's the one that influenced Iommi, actually.
Yeah. I was watching that. Like, that was a big thing that he's like, oh, I could still maybe do this even though I'm injured. It's like something that you would think as a guitar player would like take away your whole career.
Yeah, I think Django only plays with like 2 fingers.
Django, only these 2 work because the rest, these are I don't know which way I'm going. These are damaged in a fire, so that's when you see them, they're always folded, and he plays like this.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Where are we at? Number 8?
Number 8, yeah.
Number 8. I'm going with Stone Temple Pilots Core on this one. If we were talking about Purple or Tiny Music from the Vatican Shop, it'd be a lot higher because I love those albums. There's a couple of tracks. Well, of course, the hit songs are good, but the album tracks kind of linger for me. They kind of get lost for me in the shuffle. But that's why I got this in number 8. But still, what a great debut!
Yes,
by them, Core by Stone Temple Pilots. I was able to see them during the Purple tour and the Vatican Gift Shop tour, and then I was able to see Scott Weiland twice with a Velvet Revolver with Slash.
Nice.
Man, that shit was badass. It really was. I mean, if y'all ever saw Scott Weiland, y'all knew that no matter how big the place was, he had you in the palm of his hand.
I saw Weiland 2 days before he died.
Damn.
Yeah.
2 or 3 days. It was like he played here in New Jersey, and I think he played like one more show, and then after that, I think he died. So
with the Wanda Box or something like that.
The Wanda Box,
yeah.
And, I've seen STP tons of times with him, and I saw Velvet Revolver and him solo. So, and
great singer.
When my friend texted me early in the morning saying that he died, and we just saw him like 2 nights before, it just kind of fucking blew me away. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm. Don't do drugs over 50.
Surprising, but not surprising, to be honest with you. So you knew his eventual end was going to come early.
He looked terrible. He looked bad.
Yeah. So
wasting away.
Yeah. But man, what a great band. He left us so much great stuff. I'm a big Stone Temple Pilots fan. I think like we had talked about on the Messenger group when we were talking about them. They're a phenomenal band. Love them.
They ain't grunge.
Yeah, you're right. They're just 90s rock. Yeah, 90s rock. You're right.
I would consider probably Core like the most grunge they got. After that, they really started
to stretch out on their own.
Branch out.
Thank you, Al, for saying that.
Shut up, Jerry.
Yeah.
We're talking about that
I could feel
tomorrow.
the same way. Like Alice in Chains, I could feel the same way about them too.
Metal.
Like some stuff's more grunge, and then
metal.
Yeah, they got lumped into that though, but it's like I
Yeah.
definitely agree with that too. With Stone Temple Pilots.
Pretty much any band that was coming out in the 90s, they just called them
anything that sounded heavier and
Spit Doctors and shit.
Yeah, they called
coming out.
They called
Blues Traveler.
Yeah.
Candlebox has never been close to being grunge.
No, Candlebox rules.
No, I know.
I was sad they canceled their show and they gave me a refund. Damn.
Yeah.
But then
That's
I went and saw another band that same weekend. I think it was Oingo Boingo, the former members of Oingo Boingo. They were
no shit.
Yeah, I forget Steve Bartek was there. That's one of my favorite guitar players.
Al, what's your number 7?
Helmet, Meantime. This album was awesome. In the Meantime, what we got here? Unsung, one of the best tracks. Page Hamilton, killer guitar player, really influenced by jazz. And he really put that into his playing. Like his riffs were really different, they were really that real staccato type of like riffing that he did, man. It was just pretty unique for the time. But this album got a lot of spins in '92, man. I was really getting into heavier stuff by this time, so I liked grunge, but I was getting into more underground. I was getting into more heavier, hardcore stuff too, And this was definitely fitting the bill for me. So that's my number 7. Helmet, Meantime, heavy album, great album.
I did get that album, but I didn't spin it as much back then. I still don't spin it. I like it, but I don't listen to it.
Yeah, I like it.
It didn't make my list, but it is a good album.
I did hear that quite a bit this week leading up today and see if I was going to make my top 10. But yeah, Helmet, man, that's a great band. Back in 1992, there was so much different stuff coming out. Rap was up, country was up, metal was up.
Punk, grunge.
Just all this was coming at us. It was a fantastic time in the early 90s. It's great. Jerry.
Oh, man, I remember waking up at 4:30 in the morning getting ready to work, and I turned on MTV, and I heard this cool freaking acoustic riff, man. I'm like, so I had to go back and see it. It was Pull Me Under, Dream Theater, Images and Words. That's not even their best album, but when I first heard that song, I was blown away by the power of it, man. Now, the whole album is good. Under a Glass Moon, Take the Time. And I've never seen them live, and I've always wanted to see them live too.
God, me too.
I think they're on tour again.
Is Portnoy back in the band or not?
No, it's Mike Mangini.
I just saw
man, that song just blew me away when I first heard it, man. It was just awesome.
I just saw them a month ago. They were great. Yeah. But I've seen them since the mid '90s.
Yeah.
So I saw them a lot.
Like I said, that's not even their best album, and they got
I think Metropolis, the one 2000 might be their best one.
Yeah.
I like Train of Thought. Train of Thought's my favorite.
Great pick.
That's my pick.
Yeah, great pick, Jerry.
Yeah. Mark, what's your number?
Well, they already picked Core.
All right.
That's my number 7, and we already talked about it. But Cracker Man's a great song, man. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on, Cracker Man, Wet My Bed, Piece of Pie.
Good grunge music.
Naked Sunday. Shut up, dude. But it's a great album. That's
it is.
Number 7.
Is there anything else you wanted to add? Even though I talked about
you guys said basically everything about it.
Right.
But somebody said about the deep tracks on there.
Yeah.
These deep tracks rule.
Yeah.
Cracker Man is like Cracker Man. I'm like, when I used to get really high to that song, it's freaking great.
Kate, you're number 7.
I went with Rage Against the Machine. So another, like I said, a lot of good debut albums coming out.
I forgot that one came out in '92.
Rage. What else can you say? Just the cover on this. I hope it gives you an idea of what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that album rips your head off, man.
That album rules. I didn't pick it, but it's great.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's one that you just there was nothing else like it at the time. It was nothing else like
They're
it.
very bold, man.
It was
They're
like a
very bold
kick you in the face album.
Yeah.
You listen to it and just right off the rip, you're like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
So,
I saw them for the Bulls on Parade. Oh, well, not the Bulls on Parade, but I forgot the name of that album.
That'd be a ridiculous tour to catch.
Evil Empire.
Evil Empire, thank you.
Yeah.
Ticketmaster, I guess they were on tour at the same time as Pink Floyd, The Division Bell. I was buying tickets for Pink Floyd, and all these other people in line were buying tickets for Rage. I go, who the fuck is Rage?
Like, what the hell is Rage? They, yeah, man, I don't know. It stinks because we were trying to go see them, and then they've canceled because the pandemic, and then they canceled again. But it's like a band like that selling their shit through Ticketmaster just blows my mind. Like, why would you not have an independent ticketing website selling your tickets?
Pearl Jam tried. It didn't work.
Yeah, but like, figure it out. Now you have the internet, you know, like everything's online, everything's pay apps. Like,
but every big arena is Ticketmaster and Live Nation, and Live Nation is owned by Ticketmaster now. Right. So it's a big,
that's here is like Little Caesars arenas where they're gonna play, and it was like the service fee per ticket was like half the ticket price.
Exactly, it is.
But I ended up I had this streak of like 2 years where I won tickets to everything. Like anytime I would call a radio station, anytime I entered anything online, I won tickets to stuff. It was ridiculous. I don't know. I had really good luck. But long story boring, I won tickets to see Prophets of Rage, which to fill in not seeing Rage ever live, Prophets of Rage kicks ass. So you have Morello, you have like Cypress Hill dudes, like it's amazing. So it's the rest of the stuff, and they replaced Zach De La Rocha, but that was awesome. So if you can stand in for a third of the price, my price was free, luckily, but for a lot less money, you could see Prophets.
Hey, Kate, one of the comments on here says, was Kate even born in 1992?
I was born in 1987, so I was like 5.
And then on that Helmet CD, they said, I bought the Helmet CD when it first came out. Didn't even hear of them at the time. Loved it. Years later, they played a tavern at Stamford, Connecticut, and they were awesome. So.
That's cool. I can't see comments. I have you guys in full screen mode, so I don't see any of the chat. I just went to
comments, but I can't reply to them, so.
Yeah, you got to be logged into StreamYard, but I can't see who is talking.
Yeah, it just says Facebook user, doesn't have names on there.
Yeah, whoever, if you want to show yourself, you can make a StreamYard account, and then we can see who you are.
It's either that or go ahead and just write or just type your name at the end.
So and so.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
So that we know who you all are.
Yeah, and we lost somebody. Who would lose? We lost Mark.
Mark, yeah. And
Mark
I had you all on the big screen, so I couldn't read it.
Yeah, I do the full screen mode, or else I'm too distracted.
Sorry. I tried to log in, it logged me out. So
you're fine. I did that before, where I went to like comment to look at something, and then it popped me off of here. It's like crap.
Dropping this. All right, where are we at? Number 7?
Yeah, number 7 with you, Andy.
All right, my number 7. Love this album. I've had this for a while. I got on CD. It's No Effects.
You love that band, man.
I do, man. I do. This is White Trash, 2 Heaves, and a Beam.
Yeah, I'm a fan of them.
You'd never be able to get away with that now.
No, of course not. Of course not.
The title would never happen now. So that's why I love them. They're so wild. Oh, my God.
And there's a couple of tracks here. There's a song. Oh, yeah, Jerry, you're very welcome. I really hope that you enjoyed it.
Thank you. Yes,
there's a track on here where they sing just like Louis Armstrong. With like the Louis Armstrong voice and the horn. They're talking about cocaine. It's pretty hilarious. And on the last track, they do a voice like Cheech Marin from Cheech and Chong.
Nice.
But the songs on here are just pretty good. You know?
This was such a good year. No Effects, Rancid, Lagwagon, like all these bands.
Well, Lagwagon is on their label.
Mm-hmm.
Is on the No Effects label, Lagwagon. That's when they were putting their whole, big old, what's the word I'm looking, roster of bands, and just throwing them out there. So yeah, but yeah, I do like No Effects quite a bit.
Yeah,
I wish I'd seen them more, and I hope they come back around.
They're going to be touring again. They're on. They're on a leg of the Pumpkin Drublick tour, I think, so you can catch them. You'll see them.
Yeah, and that's the first album that I fell in love with by them was Pumpkin Drublick.
They're fun. They're wild animals. When you see them live,
Like
they're wild.
Yeah, I've seen them once. I would like to see them again.
Yeah.
But that's my number 7 is No Effects. Number 6, Al.
Well, a couple of you guys touched on it, but I'm going with Core. This album ruled in '92 for me too. I listened to this album a lot, and I got to give the props to the Leo brothers because they're from New Jersey originally. So I got to give my New Jersey peeps some love. But yeah, I mean, I don't have to say anything really else. It was a great debut. You guys touched on all the songs, so I'm not going to dwell on it. But I spun this a lot, smoking weed a lot too.
Sounds like kind of a habit or something.
Well, 90s, we were like in our 20s. It was time
High
to smoke
school.
some weed.
Yeah.
I didn't smoke weed till after 21, so I was a good guy.
Yeah, I didn't when I was in high school or anything. It's just after like a couple years later, I hung out with a friend of mine and he dealt it and I never had to pay for it.
If it was free, why not?
And we used to go down to his basement, which we used to call the dungeon. You had to go through the metal basement doors, the Bilko doors to walk down the stairs. And he had every like bong known to man. he had like a wooden chair leg that was hollowed out that you smoked through. And
my fridge used to have a 6-foot bong where we'd have to stand on the bed. He would light it on the bottom, and we'd let it go, and
nobody could clear it.
We would just sit in this room. We would just sit in this room and watch. We would just sit in this room, watch Beavis and Butthead all night.
Beavis and Butthead getting stoned was amazing. It's like we were like,
Then we'd run to White Castle at like 2 a.m. or something.
Dude, I never got to White Castle. That sucks, man. They have one on the way to Vegas, and every time I say, "Hey, let's stop at White Castle," and she goes, "No," and I go, "Damn."
You need to demand it.
But STP
just open the car door until she stops.
Number 6, is number 6 STP Core.
Great pick. Jerry.
Number 6.
Yeah.
I think Kate touched on this one earlier. Soul Asylum's Grave Dancers Union.
Nice. I was wondering if anybody else would.
Somebody to Shove, Black Gold, Runaway Train, and on and on and on.
Great
album, good songs, good songs. I loved it.
Yeah, I just saw the video not too long, like maybe earlier this week of a Runaway Train. It still brings a tear in my eye.
Yeah, I remember when him and Winona Ryder were on the cover of Rolling Stone.
I remember that, yeah.
Just letting you know.
Just one of those crushing songs. Like Tears in Heaven is like the hit song of that year. Tears in Heaven is horrendous.
I never got into the Eric Clapton. I only liked 2 albums by Eric Clapton, August and Behind the Sun.
You don't like Slow Hands?
No, I hate that album. Good. I think we did a review of that Florida album Address. I hated that album.
Yeah, that 461 Ocean Boulevard.
I was like, this is boring.
I like them the best in Cream. That was my favorite.
Oh, I love Cream.
Yeah,
I love Cream and the Yardbirds, but I don't like him solo as much.
Blind
Faith also. Steve Winwood.
That's good too.
Blind Faith, yeah.
Journeyman's a really good album by him.
Oh, I like that one too.
That's a good one.
Badass album. Let me see. Where are we, Kate? Let's go with you, and then we'll go to Mark since things got a little shuffled there.
That's all right. We can roll around.
Number 6.
Number 6. So this one I went with REM's "Automatic for the People." I think this is like their big deal. I mean, this is their big album with lots of hits on it.
Man on the Moon's on that one, right?
Everybody Hurts.
That's my favorite song by REM, actually, is Man on the Moon.
I like the one that goes snack, crack, shack-a-lack.
Drive.
Baby.
Yeah.
In fact, that starts that
Drive's the opening song. Yeah.
Love that album.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on that. Man on the Moon's killer. And then you have you guys said them all. I mean, that's a lot of their bigger hits that you think of when you mention REM. Those are the ones that come to mind to me anyway.
I played that album a lot, but I didn't pick it. It's on my other
Green
list.
is my favorite REM album.
Green, I think my favorite my favorite is freaking the one with the Driver 8 on it.
Document.
Not Document. Driver
No.
8's Reckoning.
Reckoning.
Or the one with Don't Fall on Me.
I love the real early stuff, man.
Yeah, I love the IRS years.
Europe days and all that. Yeah, they were really cool.
The IRS years are my favorite, but I do like their last 3 albums. They went out on a high note because they went back to the old sound.
They did.
I'm surprised they still haven't reunited. I thought by now they'd reunite.
No, they're good.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to reunite.
Michael Stipe.
I don't know. Yeah, I get the vibe that Stipe is.
I haven't heard anything about any of those guys.
I think Peter Buck does some things here and there.
But that's a good.
He did Hindu Love Gods.
Mark,
Everybody Hurts video was kind of a feel good video. I loved how it ended.
Yeah,
with the traffic jam and all that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, Mark, what's going on with you?
All right, I'm picking Images and Words as my number 6. All right, I freaking Wait for Sleep and Learning to Live. The last 2 songs in the album just rule. I love this whole album, but those 2 songs just bring this album home. This is a perfect album. I love it. It's like James LeBray. He has a new solo album coming out, by the way. This is really cool. I like all the solos.
Great singer, man. Underrated.
Who was that, Mark?
James LeBray. Dream Theater, Images and Words.
Oh.
It was already picked by somebody. Was it you?
Yeah.
I love that album. Okay, while you guys are going, I gotta go to the restroom real quick. Go ahead.
All right. And my number 6, right? I used to have this, but I don't have it anymore. But Jerry talked about it. Body Count. That's a badass album. I love it.
It just blows your ears off, man.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, and I know that Ice-T is a rapper, but man, I love him Body Count better than
Ice-T can do whatever the hell he wants, man.
I mean, and he talks so much about social issues in a very hardcore, in your face way, in ways that we can understand. And then he becomes a cop on Law and Order SVU.
I know, it's so funny.
Yeah. But that's my number 6 is going to be Body Count. I love it. And the last 2 albums are just as good.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't disappoint. I know when a Body Count album is going to come out, I know it's going to be good. He's very engaging, and the production, I don't know who produces these albums, but they make it, his vocals out in front, but the music is also there with him. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. So Body Count's my number 6.
Yeah.
Al, number 5. We're going down top 5, guys. Top 5.
King's X, Self-Titled.
It's a great album.
Love this album. Love King's X, one of my favorite bands of all time. Lost in Germany. Starts off with The World Around Me. Prisoner, The Big Picture, Black Flag. I mean, I love this album. This is their 4th one, and they decided to call their 4th one Self-Titled. Just King's X. But it's one of my favorite album covers, too. I love the album cover of that. But yeah, King's X, man. Number 5, Self-Titled.
Check that out.
That's that.
Check that out. Jerry, number 5.
Well, everybody I think has picked this one so far, but STP Core. I mean, we didn't talk about the hits off it. Plus, Wicked Garden, Sex Type Thing. I mean, those are great tunes.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can I don't know what else to add to what's already been said.
A lot of hits off of it, man.
Yeah, about 4 or 5. Yeah. Kate, number 5.
I am gonna go with Alice in Chains' Dirt.
Nice.
But we have to do an honorable mention to Sap because the EP came out in 92 as well. But this, holy smokes, another album full of hits and amazing songs. I mean, this is like Rooster, Dirt, Wood, Angry Chair.
I love them harmonized on wood. Jerry Control.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I wish Jerry Control is just here in Detroit, and I missed it, and I'm really pissed at myself that I'm
just saw him last week.
busy
He's a great
idiot
solo
and
album
missed
right
it.
now.
Yeah, I'd love to see him, but we talked about it a bunch on the live album set, but this, when they do this unplugged, all those songs unplugged almost are better than the studio version in my mind, like especially Wood or something where it's like the acoustic bass, that like rattle to the acoustic bass in Wood on the unplugged is amazing. But this album, another album that just kicks ass like start to finish, is just
love that album.
It's good. Yeah,
so
it's so good. So they definitely had to be.
I'm sure that album's gonna get repeated on here.
Probably.
Yeah, I have a feeling Al has that higher up than I do. But yeah, this is just so good. And there's like, I know we talked about this getting lumped into grunge, and like Stone Temple Pilots getting lumped into grunge, and they weren't really, but what a killer year for drops on, like, there's a handful of punk albums that are absolutely phenomenal. There's some like super, super amazing rap albums that popped off, grunge albums that came out. Like, it was a good year for some of that stuff. But yeah. Alice in Chains, Dirt. I mean, you guys know
great
it.
Album.
It's just, great.
Another singer gone too soon, too, man.
Oh, I know. I was just talking about that because this was the 20th anniversary.
Yep.
Yeah. You think about where you were. I was talking about this to one of my other like record buddies. And I was like, you think about where you were when you heard a certain musician died. And I was like, he's one that I can specifically narrow it down to being in like 9th grade in drama class and finding out that he died. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the But it's super sad. I was reading stuff about his death because it was the anniversary, and I was like, why did I read this? Like, I just made myself super, super sad that he was that messed up. And I don't know. I don't want to talk about it too much because it's a super bummer. But yeah, what an amazing talent. It's just sad. Yeah.
Sure is, man.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm fortunate enough to say that I got to see them with him live. So.
Oh, it's lucky. I was way too young. So to be.
I was being a dad at that time, so I really couldn't do much. So.
Yeah.
Mark, what's your number 5?
Before I get into my number 5, you got another comment from Ronald Ladon. Says, liking all these picks, that Dream Theater, the REM, STP, Soul Asylum, Sublime, Faith No More, etc. Great albums. Also a big King's X fan here. Love number 5.
There you go, Al.
But I don't think any of you guys picked this. I don't think any of you guys picked my number 5, and I hope you didn't because I want to be different. I picked Ugly Kid Joe, America's Least Wanted.
I had that CD in my hand, actually.
Oh,
is that the one where they did the cover of Cats in the Cradle?
Oh, fuck that song. But
I love that song, actually.
It's okay. But you got Neighbor. Would you? It says, my kid's a punk and I'm a drunk. Would you be my neighbor? You know, come on. That's all. This band rules. They haven't never put out a bad album. Their last album kicked ass.
That's the only one I know from them, so I couldn't tell you.
Dude, me and Lee did a review of their last album. You need to listen to it. It even had the guy from they did Motorhead cover on there with the last guitar player from Motorhead on there. Goddamn Devil.
Son, the last guitar player in Motorhead was like Lemmy's son.
Lemmy's son?
Yeah.
I thought it was the other guy.
I can't think of the other guy's name, but that was definitely
Wurzel and
something. When I saw him, it was his kid that was like an estranged child that he found late in life.
Where's my
if you watch Lemmy's
his documentary. Lemmy's the cutest in that. He's so sweet.
I wish I
Mark, Aaron Camaro's liking you right now.
Oh, fuck, I love Aaron Camaro, man. We did a review with him. Finally got him. We need Chris Senzak on there, man. But, dude, goddamn devil. I'm the goddamn devil. This job pleases me. This band rules, man. You guys need to get into this. If you're in the sleeves, these guys are great musicians.
Yeah.
Freaking damn. I'll find it after you guys talk about something else.
Oh yeah, I've got that as well. That's a really good album.
It's a fucking great album. And this band is so underrated. They only play Europe because America sucks.
I remember when I bought where are we at? Number 5, right?
Five, yeah.
I remember when I bought this, I was in 92. I was in high school, and I came to visit my uncle here in Houston, and we were driving back to Corpus, and we stopped at a big store, and I bought this, and I listened to it on my Walkman, on my Discman. That's the Black Crowes.
Love that album,
man. Great album.
The Southern Harmony and Musical Companion. Dude, this is such a badass album.
Killer album.
The guitars, the organs, but also Chris Robinson fucking sings his heart out on this album. His scream.
That's a great tune, man.
Dude, the songs on here, a thorn in my pride, sometimes salvation,
Remedy,
goodbye, Blue Eyes Goodbye, Hotel Illness. This is a badass album. I love it. Black Crowes is my number 5.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the guy was Phil Campbell, the guitar player.
Oh, Phil Campbell.
I think he's the only one alive, I think.
They did Ace of Spades on this album. This is their last album, As Ugly as They Want to Be.
Yeah.
And they also did a killer version of Papa Was a Rolling Stone on this album.
Oh, wow. Phil Campbell has a couple of albums out.
With his sons.
Released the last 4 albums, last 4 years. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Phil Campbell and
his sons, right?
Yeah, but then the drummer, I can't. What's the drummer's name?
Filthy Animal.
Filthy Animal passed. Oh, the guy's in Scorpions now.
Yeah, he's in Scorpions.
Oh yeah.
I can remember his name, blonde guy.
All right, my number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah. Beastie Boys, Check Your Head.
Oh God, why I forgot that one. I played that one all the freaking.
I'm a huge Beastie Boys fan. This album really, I was a huge fan of Paul's Boutique.
Yeah.
That came out in '89. That album flopped for them. There you go. Nice.
Mickey D.
I think you guys can notice that I have a theme. I bought a lot of long boxes in '92.
Yeah. And you kept them.
And I kept them. Yeah.
Fucking Ill Communication is a great album. That is one of my favorites by them. Ill Communication.
Tough
Guy.
Yeah, dude. That's my favorite. That to me, that's the Sgt. Pepper of hip hop.
Paul's puts some rules.
It really is. Paul's Boutique.
Yeah.
I have License to Ill also.
You can never make an album like that ever again with the
Shadrach.
With all the samples that are on that album.
Yeah.
You'd pay a couple $1 million now to make an album like that to clear all those samples. But anyway, going back to Check Your Head, they were like playing their instruments again and really like doing like some cool like jazzy like jams and hardcore jams. I mean, they were really diverse on this album, and I love it.
Boys, they got it coming home. Yeah. And the guitar, Ted Nugent.
Biz versus the Nuge, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Beastie Boys fan, but this album, like, I was like, holy shit, they're really I think like they branched out and they really grabbed a hold of the alternative crowd as well, and that probably gave them their longevity. They didn't do the same thing twice. So, I think had they done License to Ill again, like after, I think they would have died. I think they would have been considered a one-hit wonder, and that would have been it for them. But I think doing Paul's Boutique, even though nobody really got it when it first came out,
I bought that album. I loved it. I had it on cassette.
I loved it too, man. Although I will admit, when I first heard it, it went over my head a little bit.
It was weird.
Took a couple months for it to click for me, but it did. And then finally, like, to me, that album is just genius, So, but that's my number 4.
Watch the Beastie Boys documentary on. Well, it's not a documentary. It's just them talking about the albums.
I want to see that live.
I saw this live. They have it on Apple TV. It's really good.
Yeah, they filmed it here in the King's Theater in Brooklyn.
Nice.
And I went to one of those shows. I think they played 3 nights. I went to the middle one, and I remember distinctly. I can't think of the actor's name now. He was in Airheads.
Brendan Fraser.
Sandler.
Steve Buscemi.
No, Steve Buscemi. Yeah.
Steve Buscemi. He got up in the middle of the crowd. Yeah. And he asked him a question about Paul's Boutique and how it flopped and everything. It was funny as shit. I think it's in the documentary. I think they put that part in there.
That album's a classic now. It's like it's revisited. It's like one of their best. Everybody.
Yeah. So that's my number 4. Check your head though.
I just love the vinyl. It's like it opens up like a huge, like freaking wide screen.
If we were doing
1989, isn't it?
If we were doing 1989 albums, that album would definitely be on my list.
Awesome.
Well, he's got ill communication coming because I had an extra copy for Jerry. It's right here.
There you go.
CD download the vinyl, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Except for some reason on the first track, it skips. If you put a penny on your arm, it doesn't skip on the first track. It's weird. Both because I turned it into Target and they sent me another version and it did the same thing. So I put a penny on top of the head and it didn't skip anymore.
Cool.
And Jerry, what's your number 4?
I think the drummer's name was Mickey D, right?
Yeah, Mickey D. Yeah.
Okay.
He used to be King Diamond. Sorry.
King Diamond, Motorhead, yeah.
Everybody. I mean, he's played with a lot of people, he has. But Alice in Chains, Dirt, I mean, shit. Wood, Rooster, Angry Chair, Them Bells, Down in a Hole.
Yeah.
I mean, great record.
I forgot to talk about it. It was Jerry Cantrell's dad is what Rooster's written about. He is in Vietnam. Yeah.
Right.
It's just interesting.
I thought it was Lane Stanley's dad.
Today, it's so good. I mean,
no, it's Jerry's dad.
Jerry's dad. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think Lane. I don't know. It's Jerry's dad.
Just great. Yeah. Just great production of that album. It sounded so good.
Oh, yeah.
And
who produced that? I don't know who
said the
produced
harmonies
that.
of Lane Staley and Jerry Cantrell on Wood.
He does it pretty good with the new singer too.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same guy that's been with him since Lane, right?
Since Black Fades into Blue. That's a great album too.
Okay.
Willie Duvall.
Yeah,
he really used to sing with the Love Heart a lot. The Love with the Love Mongers. They used to jam a lot. But that's my number 4 album. I mean, great album of 1992 right there, man.
Oh yeah.
There was a time capsule of 1992 that would definitely be in it.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Kate, number 4.
So it's been talked about a couple times, and all of us picked STP Core.
That's great.
A couple of us flip-flopped. I think somebody else had it as 5, and I had Alice in Chains as 4. There's 5, and then this, like Stone Temple Pilots. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a lot already. It's awesome. It's plush sex types thing. Like what Wicked Gardens on here.
Yeah.
And their Unplugged is really good.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Acoustic version of Plush.
Yeah. Plush.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, because that's some of those Unplugged, like I said, just
and they use some weird
Unplugged
chords.
Is better.
Yeah.
Plush
they use
Unplugged.
Weird chords in their songs. It's just, if you're a guitar player, you know how weird their chords are. But they make it sound good. I mean,
so good.
Yes.
And then I was lucky enough to see them when he is clean. It was like the summer right before he died. He was here in Lansing, and they were phenomenal. He was clean, and like they just killed this outdoor festival during the summer. Amazing. And and then not long after that, he was gone.
Yeah, y'all are lucky. Y'all are lucky to have seen these people. I've never seen them, man.
Yeah,
I got super lucky with that because he passed away. Like, I don't know what month he passed away. I can't think of when he passed away, but it was not long after we saw him. And it was just one of those things like Al got to see Alice in Chains, you said, right? And then it was like he passed away right after that.
No, Scott Weiland.
Oh, you saw STP. Okay, I was mixing the two up, but yeah.
I did see Alice in Chains. I did see Alice in
But
Chains.
Scott died like 2 days after you saw him.
Yeah, Scott Weiland did.
Yeah. So that's just wild to see him, and then they pass away all of a sudden. But that was we saw him in the summer at a festival, and then he was gone. But I just have like
he died in November. I remember it was November. It was around Thanksgiving time.
Yeah.
Maybe
so I saw him in probably like August, I think.
Yeah.
And but what a killer album. This is another one that I just feel like I'll keep repeating myself on these because it's like just hit after hit on one album that came out. That, like, they have a ton of hits, but this is just loaded, and that's like that Dirt is loaded.
It is
so good. And that's another unplugged that is amazing unplugged. That I like some of the unplugged stuff better than the studio stuff.
I miss those MTV Unplugged. I wish MTV would show videos.
We're going to do a show. We were talking about it. We want to do a show that we talk about our favorite Unplugged, do the order of our favorite Unplugs, because there's so many that are amazing.
Yeah.
They have them on Paramount. You could watch a lot of them.
Yeah, that'd be
Paramount
awesome.
Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, really?
I'll have to try and get a free thing of that.
That's what YouTube is for.
Yeah. They're so good, though. And like, watching any of those clips on YouTube where you just watch the like music video version of whatever song, Plush is so freaking good on that.
They also have VH1 Behind the Music remastered, like updated. They showed the old version and they have them back. Like they did a Huey Lewis and a News one where they did it, and Huey Lewis is talking about his tendonitis. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, tinnitus, like your
tinnitus.
Yeah,
he can't sing and he can't.
That sucks. Yeah. Circling back to Huey Lewis, by the way.
Yeah.
Huey rules. Oh, well, you probably can't hear because Marty McFly played too loud in the gym.
Too loud. Too loud, man.
You guys are too darn loud.
Going back in time.
Come back.
I was fortunate enough to see Huey in concert with Chicago. That was a good show.
That'd be cool. Chicago would be sweet, too.
Yeah,
he was playing at a casino down here, and then he lost his... I couldn't see him, so I was like,
well, we saw that summer tour with Huey in Chicago.
Yeah, that was a good show.
There's new scientific developments to cure tinnitus, which I'm sure all of us concert goers
hopefully will.
Very appreciative of.
On Jeremy White and Mitch LaFon, they were talking to Johnny Cola, and he said, "Well, maybe he'll hear one day, and we'll go back."
That'd be cool. Yeah, it's in animal trials, fellas. So we'll see what happens.
Mark,
Mark.
Yeah.
Well, I got my original copy here with the hype sticker on it. Alice in Chains Dirt. I think we're all picking this out.
Yeah.
It's cool that you never took the hype sticker off of it.
No, I never take these. I try when I get the hype stickers on the albums, I try to tear them
peel it off.
and
I'll
put
put
it
it
on
like
that cover.
inside, yeah.
Or I put it inside if it won't peel off. But this is a great album. Sick Man. Sick Man. I just fucking love that song.
So
Rooster, Wood, that bass line on Wood.
Yeah.
And the movie, wasn't that in singles also? The movie singles?
Yeah.
That soundtrack came out this year, and that's a killer soundtrack.
That album actually almost made my list too.
Yeah, that soundtrack's awesome. Yeah.
Singles ruled. I like the scene with all the, like, Eddie Vedder, Chris Cornell, like at the table. It was great.
Yeah, and Singles has that I think it's the only place that you can find Drowned by Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Or I think they got them like on like the greatest hits, but for a while that Singles soundtrack was the only way that you could hear it.
The Love Mongers is on there also with Diane and Nancy Wilson.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
When I just saw Jerry Cantrell live, there was a guy I was going in the lobby, and there was a guy with a Citizen Dick shirt on. I had to give him a props for that, man. I was like, cool shirt.
Yeah, it was. Man, the movie was just okay, but the soundtrack was awesome.
Yes.
Killer
soundtrack.
I traded that soundtrack to somebody because I was high for Fleetwood Mac Rumors. I don't know why.
Yeah, robbed, man.
It's a great album, though. I love Lindsay.
Oh, I know it's great. Don't get me wrong, but there's like
great, but you can
billion copies of it.
Back in the day, I said, this girl goes, "Hey, let me have the singles. I'll give you Fleetwood Mac Rumors." I go,
it was because it was a girl, so you were a sucker.
Yeah.
Probably, and she was a hot blonde, so
yeah, there you go, suckered.
Yeah,
you got what you deserved.
Yeah.
My number 4
Yep.
is going to be. I'll do this side. Alice in Chains, Dirt.
Go off the back of
We've
it.
all agreed at number 4, isn't it?
So we all picked that, I'm sure.
That
Everybody had
STP,
that.
I think we all picked it.
Yeah. I love it. I could have picked out a handful that I knew you guys would have.
Junkhead, Down in a Hole. I mean, we've talked about these, but
Down in a Hole.
the tribal drums on Angry Chair, boom, badass. Dun, 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 dun.
Now I want to go for a drive in my car and just listen to this loud.
Alice in Chains, Dirt. I used to have the T-shirt too, but
nice.
I don't have the shirt anymore.
I listened to it all on the anniversary last week. Yeah, it was like.
And I'm going to go see Jerry Cantrell next month, so I'm excited about that too.
Yeah,
that'll be killer.
Yeah, he's great, man.
Yeah. I saw Alice in Chains with their new singer William Devine.
William's good, man. I love the albums.
Yeah,
I love all the albums they've done with him.
Yeah, they've been strong, man. Strong albums.
I need to really sit down and really pay more attention to his output because I hear nothing but great things, and I've heard him, but not really sat down and really heard it. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, they're showing the Runaway Train video right now.
Cool. Just to press us into a coma.
Yeah, right. Al, number 3? Yeah,
3.
Yeah, this was touched on already, but I love the sound. Black Crowes, Southern Harmony.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys. This to me, this was like such a. Their first album was great, but this was like such a quantum leap for them. To me, it's like the Stones' Exile, like it's like their Exile on Main Street, you know. And you guys touched on this. You touched on the songs already, Andy. I mean, I don't have to really go through them, but I mean, this album really, like when I wanted to like chill out and fucking just kind of jam and stuff, man. This was the album that ruled in '92, you know.
Yeah.
And I love the Crowes, man.
Yeah,
I still do to this day. I
saw them with Dirty Honey.
Yeah, I saw them last summer with Dirty Honey, man. They put on a tremendous show.
Dirty Honey kicks ass.
I was hoping they would do like an anniversary tour for this and play this whole album.
I hope they make a new album. They're talking about it. So
yeah, they're coming out with a covers album right now. I think called 1972.
They're gonna do Rolling Stones, right? And Aerosmith or something like that.
No, I think I don't know what songs
they got to do Rolling Stones. They're totally Rolling Stones band.
I'm sure they do a Stone song, but I don't.
Yeah.
I think they do a T-Rex song, Slider.
Nice.
Whatever song came out in 72, I think they're doing. The name of the album is called 1972, and it's all songs from 72. So
it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I
am. We're going to talk about all these albums are going to be 30 years old this year. It's wild about thinking about it. That'd be cool if they did a tour where it was like 30-year anniversary. So.
1972 is 50 years ago already.
50 years on 42.
I wish they'd just bring Mark Ford back, but that ain't gonna happen.
I saw him when he did Magpie Salute, which was really good. That was a good band, man. And then that put the kibosh on it. Mark Ford was great though.
Yeah, he was.
I actually got to play basketball with Steve Gorman.
Nice. Gorman's awesome too.
I saw Black Crowes as well with Dirty Honey. And they played all the first album, and then some hits. But I wish that they would have done all of Southern.
Yeah, I would have rather seen Southern Comfort.
Yeah,
Southern Harmony, man.
Yeah. Jerry, you're number 3.
All right, y'all probably gonna think I'm crazy and batshit. Well, y'all do anyway, but sentimental album to me, man. I love the sound of this band. It's the Gin Blossoms' New Miserable Experience.
Yep.
Good album.
Good.
I never bought it. I like it, though.
Yeah.
Found Out About You. I mean, Lost Horizons, Allison Road.
A lot of hits on that album.
That's another hit one. It's like,
man. It really is.
Yeah.
And the
That's a
guy,
lot of their big
I
stuff.
can't remember his name. Doug Hopkins. He was the main songwriter of that. Got kicked out.
Band out of Arizona.
But, I mean, great lyrics, man. I mean, whoever writes the lyrics on that, I think Doug Hopkins did, but I'm not 100% sure. But,
he wrote most of them.
Man, just great stories. Man, I love songs that have a good freaking story to them. That's one thing I like about this band. Every one of their songs has a good story to it.
I love Hey Jealousy. I still love that song.
Yeah, that's such a jam.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
You can trust me not to think.
I feel like anyone would know that. Anyone would know that song too, because it's like such a the intro to that. I don't know. It just
That's one of my
in your brain.
Yeah, that's one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah, that was one of my honorable mentions too.
Yeah.
Definitely. Great pick.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Sherry hasn't picked one album so far. I'm trying to see if he's going to pick it.
What's that?
I'm not going to tell you. I want to see if you pick it first.
Okay. Well, actually, no. My 2-1-1 have already been picked. So
okay, then you haven't picked it.
Ooh.
That's one of my honorable mentions.
There you go.
Okay.
Awesome. Hey, number 3.
So the last 3 on my list were hard to put into place, but this I had to go with Blind Melon. Blind Melon.
Good record.
Yes.
A good album. I like their second album better.
Yeah, I can see a lot of people like that one. Like whoever's super into them likes that one better. Yeah. This one just has like obviously No Rain is their huge hit, and I feel like they kind of got robbed from
big time
how much talent they have, because it's kind of like it's kind of like a throwaway song on the album almost. Like don't get me wrong, I love No Rain, I love the B Girl, I love that whole thing, but it's like out of how talented they are and where Shannon Hoon could be, that
doesn't fit in with that album.
Yeah, that wasn't really there. So like my big song on this is Change. I love that song. And I was listening to it the other day, and like the music video, and that's awesome. Yeah, it's
another
just
good singer gone. I mean, another singer
way
gone.
too soon. He's like another of the 27 Club people too. Yeah. But he just such a phenomenally talented person, and just another person with like a horrible problem and just so much hurt and that. But then thinking about all these guys, it's like if they didn't have that part of their life, would they have had as much talent? Or it's like the tortured artist kind of thing where you wonder if their life was normal and happy, would they have made just like any artist? Like I do art, and I'm super into artists and different things like paintings and stuff, and that like would they have put out what they did if their life wasn't chaotic? And
it's like Motley Crue with me. I thought they were better when they're on drugs and drinking. I mean,
everybody said that about Aerosmith, but I love the 90s output of
but I'm glad I'd rather have them be sober and alive than
right yeah, like you want them to still be here. So that's one of those things of like it
the same thing with
that's a good pick.
What could be with someone who like what would he be doing now if he was still alive? Yeah.
I think my favorite song is Galaxy. I just love that video. It's like chaotic.
Wild note. Yeah, there's so many good songs on that though that just and like another debut album, as we've said, there's like this is just like the murderer's row of debut albums. And
we need to do a show on debut albums, soundtracks, and of course the
do debut albums. That one's easy for me. I know all of the ones I like. I could do that one. I could name them off right now.
We could do a good soundtrack one would be cool, and like a debut album one would be cool because there's because
soundtracks are like gone now. Nobody does soundtracks anymore.
That's that single soundtrack that came out this year is like an amazing soundtrack.
The Spotify playlist for what's that Peacemaker was really cool that James Gunn put out with all those cool bands, like new bands, old bands. It's really cool.
Check it out. It's for Peacemaker, you said?
Peacemaker, James Gunn put a Spotify playlist. If you see the thing, they have a band. It's like the beginning song where all doing the dancing. It's freaking hilarious.
I'll have to look it up. Yeah.
Number 3, Mark.
Well, people are touched on this Southern music.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
I don't think any of you guys talked about Sometime Salvation, their best song ever.
Sometime Salvation. God,
that song just rules.
Yep.
And freaking again, Thorn in My Pride, you guys talked about that. Good Luck, Blue Eyes, Goodbye. Freaking his voice is just so much soul in those two songs. It's just like, how can you get any better than this? But there's 2 albums that beat this for me. But this was hard because the top 3 could have been my number 1. So this is a great album.
Yeah, that's man, he sang his heart out on that album. Move, Charlie. You're on my stuff, Charlie. Move.
Charlie. Al's got a cat too. Al, he broke in on you. Who's your cat?
That's Amara.
And I
I'm
saw your
surprised my cat
dog.
hasn't made a visit yet.
What's your little dog's name?
Daisy.
Dave?
I'll just get out of your way, Charlie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's
I
Amara.
love Charlie. He's a good cat too.
I got 2 cats and 4 dogs.
All right, she doesn't want it. She doesn't want to play.
She's not having it.
And this is my all black cat, Charlie boy.
Charlie's the loud cat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's all black. I got him at the not the kill center. I hate to say that, but at the SPCA, I went in there and I asked for the cat that's been here the longest.
You got the
And they brought me out.
Cat.
Yeah, and this dude came out.
Yeah.
My number 3, it's been touched on. I thought that would have been touched on more, and I think it will be coming up. But Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power.
Yeah, I picked that one at number 9.
Yeah. I think just you and I, but I think it's coming up by somebody else too.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's a couple.
Mouth for War, Walk, A New Level, fucking Hostile, This Love. Dude.
I just think about the first time I heard Walk, and I was like, what is this? It's amazing.
This is a great album. I think, hey, Al, didn't we do a show ranking Pantera albums?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody sounds like Dimebag on guitar. Nobody sounds like Dimebag.
No.
That's like groove, rhythm, guitar. It's like amazing.
I mean, when these 4 got together with Phil and Darryl and Rex and Vinny, dude, they were a force, dude.
Didn't Phil want to do a new version of Pantera?
No.
Huh?
Without Vinny and without Diamond, didn't he want to keep doing Pantera?
No, they never did. There was talk of getting Zakk Wylde in there.
Yeah, I remember at least they were talking about it.
They never did it. And I think it will happen with Rex and Phil, but it will be a tribute. It won't be like they won't call themselves Pantera.
That's another one where you remember where you were when that happened.
Yeah. I was on a plane back from Vegas when we heard about it.
Yeah, I remember that like really vividly, and it's wild.
I thought it was a joke. I'm like, yeah, right.
That it's like some
prank
thing.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
right.
2004.
Mm-hmm.
That was
it was harder to get info back then than it is now.
It wasn't as fast that you're like, no way, and then you had to think,
It's like that Fire with Great White too. That was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, I gotta see that documentary. They got that documentary about that fire.
Those weren't that long apart. How long?
I watched it. It was good, man.
It was good. Jack Russell's really crying about that. He cried on the
He wouldn't be, man. That's terrible, man. I mean,
they lost the guitar player Ty Longley died in that.
He died,
And that was in Ohio, right?
No, that was in that was back east, wasn't it?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Well,
Al, number 2. We're down to the final 2.
No surprise here.
I knew it. I could tell by the look on his face.
I knew it was coming somewhere.
We already had it ready. So.
Dimebag just fucking crushes on this album. This was like my workout album. This was my workout album of '92. I mean, this was like the gym. Go to the gym, put this on, and you just crush the weights, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And this album just kind of ruled me in '92, man. I mean, you guys touched on the songs "Fucking Hostile," "Hollow." I mean, by Demons Be Driven, "Live in a Hole." I mean, there's no bad songs on here, man. I mean, from start to finish, this just pulverized you, and Dime just no pun intended. No pun intended. Was on a whole new level. So
like I said, nobody sounded like Dime. Nobody sounded like Dime.
No,
that's another kick you in the face album, like start to finish.
I got really high back then.
Yeah,
that one too.
And me and Andy, we got to do me, Andy, Bob, we got to do and Josh Toomey, we got to do the ranking the Pantera albums on one of your shows.
Dang, you got Toomey on here?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's like a superstar right there. He likes too much new metal. I can't stand new metal. Thank you, Metallica.
But he loves Pantera. Though, which was all right by me. So
cool. Yeah,
that was a fun show.
That was a fun show. I remember I had power metal pretty high up, and people were surprised. But I like that album a lot.
I need
Yeah,
to
I
hear
think
that.
we
I
had
haven't
like
heard that one.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
I'm on there.
Yeah.
Well, we did reviews on that on the Freeform. We did that with James West. I think that one and Far Beyond Driven. So Nate Atchison, Big Bush, didn't like it, and then he's all saying, "I love Better." I go, "You're drunk. You were talking shit about that album." Me and James called him out.
That's a good album too. The Far Beyond Driven.
Oh God, 5 seconds alone by itself. I love that song.
I mean, they changed and they didn't change at the same time. Do you know what I mean for that album?
Each album got harder and harder and harder and harder. It's like Skid Row, dude. From the first album to the second album, it's like sea change there. It's like, damn.
Yeah. That Slave to the Grind is completely different.
Yep.
From the Skid Row album.
Well, and then they went from Slave to the Grind to what was the third album?
The blue one, man. Right? What is it?
It was
Beat Yourself Blind is on it.
They went even heavier, man. That was a great
Beat
album.
Yourself Blind. Sebastian just kicks ass.
Subhuman Race.
Subhuman Race. I got that on CD too. I need that on vinyl, but I'm not buying that huge box set. I got the first 2 on vinyl, but I want that one next.
I got that Slave to the Grind on cassette.
I got the record store version of it, and it has like all the bonus track. It has like Get the Fuck Out and the other one on there. The 2 songs they changed out, different versions.
Yeah. I have the CD with the one that doesn't have Get the Fuck Out. It's got the other one.
Day. It's something Day. But the vinyl has both. The record store vinyl had both of them plus some live tracks.
Cool.
Freaking good.
Jerry, number 2.
Black Crowes, Southern Harmony, and Musical Companion. I don't know what else to add to it, except great record.
Yeah, man.
I think it was it the last one with the original 5, I think.
Yeah.
I think Amorica still had the original.
Okay, yeah, Amorica is really good too. I love that album cover.
Amorica, yeah, right. Yeah. But Amorica was great, man.
I remember buying this record at Rite Aid, man, and when it first came out, I loved it, man.
Rite Aid sold records?
Yeah, man, the one down in Florida, West Palm Beach did, yeah.
Oh, wow.
What?
There was no Rite Aids down here at this time. It was thrifty.
It was almost like a mini Walmart super center, man, at the time it was.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of. But, I mean, what haven't we touched on about that album?
Sometimes Salvation and
the songs.
The extra
definitely more polished and mature than their first one.
Yeah.
They re-released it with like some bonus tracks, and 99 Pounds is a great cover they do on it. Yeah.
Huh.
Great record.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we've all mentioned it almost.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm the odd one out that's in my honorable mentions. Not on my top 10. So I messed this up, but whatever.
What's your number 2, Kate?
My number 2, you talked about it. Oh boy, I'm gonna drop it. It's a long one, but it's so damn good. This is like my teenage years. I found them when I was in high school, and I freaking was obsessed. It's got so many good songs. Waiting for My Ruka is like one of my favorite songs on there, and that kicks it off. You have 40 Ounce to Freedom. Mark talked about Smoke 2 Joints. You have like Don't Push. 5446, that's my number, is like one of my favorites. Anything, I'm a sucker for, I love reggae, and I'm a sucker for horns. So this shit is right up my alley.
Yeah.
I like good horns.
Yeah. Bad Fish is on here. Scarlet Begonias. So they do some Grateful Dead on here. There's some reference to KRS-One, if you think about that. I don't know. And then Date Rape's on here. The Fishbone version is amazing. If you guys are into Fishbone,
I was just gonna talk about
they do
Fishbone.
it, and that one's awesome. I don't know. Yeah, you guys know Sublime. If you are into them, you know all their songs, and if you aren't into them, you're like, bleh.
I like the end when they're giving shout outs to like all these people.
Yeah, that's cool. The thanks.
Zappa
Yeah, that's a track on here at the end is just thanks.
Yeah.
With an X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that. That's such a good album, and that like.
Yeah, it's really great. It really is.
Yeah.
Mark, what's your number 2?
I don't think any of you guys have picked this. Maybe Al would pick it. I don't know. But this album is fucking a masterpiece. Extreme, 3 sides to every story.
There's some good tunes off it, yeah.
Dude,
like
Peacemaker Die, Cupid is Dead, Color Me Blind, freaking Tragic Comic, freaking
Tragic Comic's probably my favorite.
Warheads, would you like to be? I'm a warhead, you're a warhead, just like Rest in Peace, Political Calamity. This album freaking, it's just amazing. It's got 3 sides, yours, mine, and the truth. It's a freaking masterpiece of an album that freaking needs more recognition. It's just
Nuno Betancourt freaking rules, man.
Huh? Nuno Betancourt rules. And I'm still waiting for their new album. They said 2 years ago it was done.
Wow.
Because the last album, Saudi's The Rock, kicked ass. And I want a new album by them so bad. I don't know if anybody's picked this, but I'm a totally extreme nut swinger.
That's a great album, man.
Yeah.
It's not my top 10, but it's definitely like it's up there. Yeah, that's them channeling their inner queen.
I have it on vinyl, man. Also.
Yeah.
And Brian May loves Nuno.
Nuno rules, man.
Yeah.
And he's Portuguese like me. I got a quick Nuno story actually. So I saw him when he had his band Population One. They were opening for King's X here in New Jersey, and when they were done with their set, Nuno, when he was done with his set, he actually came down in the crowd and he stood right next to me, and to watch King's X.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to bother him, he wanted to let him enjoy, but I just turned to him real quick and said something to him in Portuguese. I'm like you rule and shit, shit like, and it kind of caught him off guard, and he was like, oh, you speak and everything, and we were speaking to each other in Portuguese, so I kind of broke the ice that way. It just wasn't like any regular like fanboy just like geeking over him,
Dude, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah. And he talked to me for like a good couple minutes, man. And I told him, listen, I don't want to bother you. I know you want to enjoy watching. And then by that time, I think people were starting to notice him anyway, and they were coming towards him, and he had to take off, unfortunately. But I got to have a cool moment with him. This was like before I had my cell phone camera.
That is really freaking cool, man.
Yeah. I couldn't take any pictures with him, but I would have loved to. But it's a cool moment nonetheless. So
yeah, that's a very cool moment. That's awesome.
Yeah.
My number 2, no one has picked it, and I don't think anybody is.
Vanilla Ice.
No. I love this album.
Bodyguard.
Bodyguard. I love this album beginning to end. The Beatles are my number 1 band favorite. My number 2 favorite artist is Neil Young, Harvest Moon.
I can't pick that one for you. Yeah.
This is a badass album from beginning to end. It starts off with Unknown Legend, and then goes to Hank from Hank to Hendrix. Harvest Moon, the song Harvest Moon, my wife surprised me with it at our wedding, and we danced to it. Harvest Moon, Neil Young, and One of These Days. It's such a badass song.
That's cool. You and your wife danced to your favorite artist. Me and my wife danced to Rush, Time Stand Still.
Yeah. I remember you. You had mentioned that.
Yeah.
Such a Woman, Old King. Old King's a really cool song. It talks about one of his old dogs and about what his dog meant to him. Dreaming Man. I own so much Neil Young, but this is my number 2, Harvest Moon. I love this album, and this came out like in '92, just like we were talking, and I was in high school when this came out, so that's when I really started to get into Neil Young, because he had MTV Unplugged at about the same time that this album came out too.
I remember that Unplugged,
and I watched it and I loved it, and then I bought the CD of the Unplugged, and I can't find it, but this is so good. Neil Young's my number 2.
I gotta find those VHSs with all the unplugs I taped.
Do you have a VCR still?
I have a box of recorded stuff. Yeah, somewhere.
They sell them at thrift stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. All right, guys, we're down to numero 1. our number one album of 1992.
I don't think any of you guys picked my number one. Serious.
I know no one has my number.
I think it's no surprise. It's in a long box too. Allison Chains.
Yeah.
This was my number one album of '92, and
I had to put $5 on it. I would have called it.
and props to this one too. Sap.
That's good.
Sap is awesome too. I got that on vinyl record store day too.
Yeah. I'm putting them both together. Yeah.
Doesn't Ann Wilson sing on that?
Yes.
Yeah, Ann Wilson sings on Sap.
Yeah.
Is Cornell on Sap too?
What's that?
Chris Cornell on Sap?
I think he's on the. Wasn't it like a hidden track where he was on or something?
I think so.
Well, it's called Love Song here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think on the original CD they only had 4 tracks listed, and one was a hidden track, and they listed them all here. But yeah, this is the record store day one. But yeah, Dirt. Alice in Chains ruled my life in '92. But this was like my most number one played album of that year. Again, me and my buddy would drive around smoking and listening to this.
Smoking token.
Like I said, definitely a time.
Hey Al, did you ever drive while your friend was lighting your bong and you smoked bong hits in the car driving? I did that. My friend was lighting it. And I was smoking driving.
I plead the fifth, bro. I plead the fifth. Anyway. Yeah, I was out of my mind in '92.
I was smoking harmless tobacco.
But yeah,
I never smoked tobacco.
Alice in Chains, my number one. Jerry Cantrell is like probably my favorite guitarist of that era. Alice in Chains was my favorite band of that whole scene. And they like you guys say, they're not grunge, they're metal, and they were just bringing metal into the '90s, man. Yeah. And they fucking rocked, man.
Just like Pantera.
Yeah, I'm all for removing the grunge label totally, period, getting rid of that label.
Yeah.
Well, you got some bands that are grunge, like
Nirvana. Is about the only one. When you think grunge, you think of Nirvana.
Screaming Trees, Mudhoney.
Melvins.
Pearl Jam.
Melvins, yeah.
Pearl Jam isn't not. They're Neil Young. They're totally Neil Young on Crazy Horse.
They're classic rock. They're just rock and roll.
Yeah.
They're '70s arena rock.
Yeah.
So, but that's my number one.
Awesome. Dirt. So, did we all mention Dirt?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, we all
had Core and we all had Dirt.
Yeah, all Core and all Dirt.
I'm the odd one out without the Black Crows.
Oh, we could have had all the Black Crows.
I'm sorry, it's in my honorable mention.
All right, Jerry. What's your number one, man?
I'm going to be freaking original here. Pantera, vocal display of power.
Dude, that was shit.
Man, that this album blows me away still to this day, man.
Yeah.
My number one.
Talking about Diamond Darrell, whatever you want to call him, man. Just a phenomenal musician. Freaking,
he was still
Vinnie Paul, man. Vinnie Paul.
He was still Diamond on that album, right?
Yeah. Vinnie Paul, just a freaking fabulous drummer, man. Another 2 people gone too soon again. Fuck.
I can't believe they're both gone, man.
It's like they're like the Beatles. It's like 2 members left.
It's like they got both in their Kiss coffins, though. So
yeah.
And Kiss is still alive.
And like you said, Jerry, it still sounds fresh. It still sounds fresh.
It's one of my favorite albums of all time, actually. I mean, from a fabulous group, and I miss them. I'm sure they could have done a lot of good stuff still, but unfortunately, we have to, just live with what they gave us.
Yeah, you're right.
And be happy with that, and you know what? I'm happy with that, man. That's great stuff.
Definitely.
See, I got a teardrop now, man.
That's just like shit like that really bothers me when stuff like that happens. Man. Like, what a weird accident, and then they were trying to help.
Senseless fucking.
What are their last names? Abbott, right?
Abbott.
The Abbotts.
Eddie Van Halen gave him his yellow guitar to bury him with, so that's pretty damn cool.
The Bumblebee.
Yeah.
I mean, all these guys that are died, it's just the stuff that we could be hearing nowadays. It's like I keep talking. It's a little bit off topic, but
Randy Rhoads, man.
I was going to say, just imagine.
Yeah, 25 is like.
Yeah.
We would be comparing who the greatest is, Randy or Eddie at this time, I think.
I think it'd still be Eddie.
I don't know, man. Randy was incredible. So you never know.
Randy was going more into classical music at that.
Yeah, but we're never going to
time,
know. But
so
man,
never know.
I thought it would be close at least.
He was taking classical guitar lessons before he died.
Right.
But that's my number one, and it's a clear cut number one. That was always on my list when I was doing this as number one. So.
It's like I want to be
number one, and that was it.
Yeah.
It's like I want to do a Sam Beckett and do a quantum leap and go save all these rock stars.
Exactly. It's like when you mentioned 1992, I was like, that's easy one, number one right there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. That's a good album. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Kate, what's your number one?
So I'm coming out of left field on this one. That I went with "Uh-Oh" by David Byrne.
Great.
I love Talking Heads. I love David Byrne. "Uh-Oh" is like, if you put that on, I'm gonna like dance my ass off. I was having a really bad day today, and I was like, I'm just gonna listen to this because we're talking about it. And I was like, oh my god, this like changes my whole mood. That kind of album that it just, I could be like in a horrible downward spiral, and this flips me the minute it comes on. I don't know if you guys, well, and if you like them, that's cool. That's,
I love the Talking Heads.
I love that.
I don't
David
like
Byrne's
Naked.
Other one. Oh yeah, David Byrne's other one that I love is "Look into the Eyeball." That one's getting a little weirder, but this one is like a lot of more fun, upbeat songs. And this jam, "Hanging Upside Down," I love. That's what got me into this album. I heard that first, and I was like, oh, I have to check out the rest of this because that song's awesome. And then "Girls on My Mind," "Tiny Town," like. If you don't know this one, I definitely ask you to check it out because it's, I could put this in my top, I don't know.
What's the name of it again?
It's "Uh-Oh."
Uh-Oh.
Uh-Oh.
My David Byrne.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's fun. Like if you're just in a bad mood or you like need to clean the house or do something, you know, like put it on and check it out. It's a very, very fun dancing album.
The show was awesome.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they're
Why is it?
no,
why
you're
is
good.
it-
You're good.
Why
They're
isn't
just
Huey
so
Lewis
good.
and the News in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
There's so many people that aren't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that's like a big thing of contention of like, even when Dolly just talking about that, where Dolly's like, I don't deserve that. You know, it's like there's so many other people that should be in there and they're not.
It's like they put, I don't know who Judas Priest, Maiden, totally influential bands should be in there. It's like,
I just hope they open the doors to more of those type of bands.
Well, you got Metallica,
they definitely need to do that.
You got Eddie Trunk, you got Deep Purple, you got Foo Fighters, bands that will vote for these other hard rock metal bands.
Yeah.
So hopefully that comes to fruition.
But who's going to vote for Huey?
Hey, I'm sure sports influenced someone.
They should have Christian Bale induct them.
Yeah, really? Oh my god. But that's like the Grammys that like so many people that I'm like win a Grammy, and then there's certain people that have never won a single one. It's like
I think Grammy's like a participation award.
Yeah.
Kanye West has won 22 Grammys.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. And it was like Prince has never won one, I think. I don't know. The list of like people who've never won a single one.
The Doors.
It's like a who's who of music, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway,
Metallica getting beat by Jethro Tull.
That was a good album, though.
It was, but did not belong in that category.
Preston Benave, I like that album.
That was probably the biggest douche of any awards in the awards history, in my opinion, was that one.
Metal is in Metallica's name. Come on.
They boofed that one up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's have Mark. What's your number one?
My number one, I think me and Kate picked albums that nobody else picked. I picked 3 that you guys haven't picked. I picked Megadeth, Countdown to Extinction. I picked Ugly Kid Joe, America's Least Wanted. I'm going to go with something that you guys probably wouldn't even think of. Warrant Dog Eat Dog. I bought that album, and I didn't know that Warrant was on the outs. That album is their hardest, freaking best songwriting by Janie Lane ever with April, 2031, freaking Machine Gun. Freaking this album just kicks freaking ass. Even people who don't like Warrant like this album. It's like it just rules. It's just
a great album, man.
It's a great freaking album.
I agree.
I love it. I don't have it anymore because somebody stole it and it's freaking expensive to buy.
You gotta quit hanging out with scumbags, man.
Well, that was back when I was smoking weed when this album came out.
Like, everyone's just taking.
I bought this from Tower
Like,
Records, man.
He's stoned again. Let's rob him.
Taking shit.
This Extreme album was bought from Tower Records on Sunset. It's still the original one I bought when it came
That's
out.
cool. Yeah, that's
They're
cool.
like pressing eject.
Yeah.
Yeah, your stoner friends probably didn't like that one. That's probably why they left it.
Yeah, you're like,
I
we'll leave
don't
this
know,
here.
man. They took my shit away. I was pissed off.
Gotta put a little tracking chip in those now.
They're like more than words. Fuck that.
No, dude, that Warren Doggy Dog is a great album, man. That's
Yeah, I
like
love
probably
it.
their best one.
Yeah, it's the hardest album ever. I love it. It's just so amazing, and freaking like Janie said, he went in and dirt was all over the place. Cherry Pie was taken down, and they weren't promoting Dog Eat Dog. They just released it and said, "Die."
Again, another one gone too soon, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drugs suck.
Bad.
All right, Andy.
My number one. It's been mentioned only one time, which I was kind of surprised. I thought it'd be mentioned more. But Rage Against the Machine, their debut album.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Because I didn't get into that band till way after '92. I'm just put albums that I was jamming during '92.
But Bomb Track, Killing in the Name, Settle for Nothing with Self for Nothing Later, Bullet in the Head, Know Your Enemy, Wake Up.
Know Your Enemy, man. I gotta send you guys this thing. My buddy who plays in a band covers that, and I'll send it to you. It's amazing. But
And
Know
like
Your
I, said,
Enemy
I
is
saw
really
them during the Evil Empire tour, and man, when they did Killing in the Name, we were in the back. It was outside, and you just saw just the wave of people. It was just
being in the pit for that. I
mean, it looked like somebody got.
I'm a wussy. I stay away from pits.
Yeah, I used to be a lot more brave, and now I'm like, I don't want to get hurt.
I'll come out with a few broken bones and stitches.
Yeah, I always end up getting like elbowed or kicked in the face or the head somehow.
Back then, I would just jump in there, and now like my knees are just walking into the ring. I'm like, oh.
But I tell you what, I don't know, man. Can I get that? You get that adrenaline going? I don't know. I might jump in.
I can't do it anymore. But yeah, I couldn't even imagine the pit for Rage in '92 or '93 would just be wild and out.
So just a real quick recap before we get to the honorable mentions. This was fantastic. We had everything from Kiss to Saigon Kick to David Byrne to STP to Megadeth to Peter Gabriel, Gin Blossoms, Black Crows, except for one person. This was just fantastic. Just the different range of different bands and different albums were fantastic. Okay, guys, we're already at the little over 2-hour mark, which is okay. But let's go ahead and hit some honorable mentions pretty quickly. You go ahead and go first now.
All right, I'll run through a few of them. You guys mentioned, the Rage Against the Machine is a great one. The Dream Theater one's a great one. I'm also going to throw in House of Pain.
That's a good one, man.
I like his solo stuff. Everlast.
Yeah,
I'm also going to throw in Ice Cube, The Predator.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
it's a great one. Shout out to Dr. Dre, The Chronic, which is a great hip hop album as well. I'm also going to do Body Count. It's a great one. I'm also going to do White Zombie, La Sexorcisto.
Yeah, that was
a good honor. I played this one a lot in '92.
Yeah, I like that.
I didn't play that '92. I got into them later. That's why I didn't pick him as an honorable mention either.
Another one's Black Sabbath, Dehumanizer.
Oh God, I forgot about that one. I played that one a shit ton.
Yeah, Dio.
Was
pretty huge. And shout out to the single soundtrack.
Yeah, we said that.
Shout out,
Mine too.
So, and then also REM Automatic for the People is a great one. Eric B. and Rakim, Don't Sweat the Technique. Nine Inch Nails Broken EP.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Let's see what else here, real quick.
we should have just done 20.
Tool Opiate. Tool Opiate.
I've been in 3 hours.
Yeah, that EP dropped. That's it.
And Nirvana Incesticide, which is a cool B-side thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So those are my honorable mentions.
Jerry.
I got Megadeth Countdown to Extinction. Let's see, I've got White Zombie. I got the single soundtrack. I've got Annie Lennox's Diva album. Love that record. Love her voice. That's all I really have on my list. There's a bunch more, but
yeah,
I got a bunch.
Yeah, the Bodyguard soundtrack was at the top.
Okay. Go ahead.
Cover of a Dolly Parton song. We got to give Dolly credit.
Love Dolly.
Dolly rules.
I love Dolly so much. You're done, Jerry?
Yes, please go ahead.
But just real quick, I mean, Dolly Parton sang it great, but Whitney
Whitney
knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. I will not argue with that at all. That Whitney,
it's like Van Halen with
destroys that song. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, she just put her everything in it.
We just watched that a few weeks ago. My dad was over and he's obsessed.
I've never seen it before.
I love Kevin Costner.
That's good. Yeah, The Bodyguard's a good movie, but like the soundtrack, that's another one where it's like the soundtrack is really killer. I don't know. The movie's good, but the soundtrack is killer. But
I just like Kevin Costner.
Yeah, Costner's great. And then I think I've heard that soundtrack. I don't even know. I'd have to like send away to NASA to calculate how many times my dad's played that soundtrack.
Yeah.
But that, anywho, getting into honorable mentions, you mentioned NoFX. We mentioned Rancid. We mentioned Lagwagon. Those are all killers. Screaming Trees. We mentioned, Al mentioned that Nirvana. That's really cool. That came out. That was all like unreleased stuff prior.
Hey, was that?
Incesticide.
I'm sorry, that Rancid was that, and then come out the Wolves.
No, that one was
94.
What came out? Was it Generator? I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I know Rancid dropped one. No, Out Come the Wolves came out a different year, but that was the last time I saw them. That was the tour they were doing, so they played that all the way through.
Wow, yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Badass.
Yeah, totally. That was an awesome thing to see. I got to shout out Tom Waits dropped Bone Machine.
Hey, you want to hear a good Tom Waits album? Listen to the new John Cougar album.
I heard that you guys were talking about that. That was making me laugh. I'm like, I'll have to check it out.
I really thought that was going to be in your top 10.
Yeah, that's one that I don't listen to as much. So that one I was like, I'll leave it off and do an honorable mention. But yeah, that's a jam. Al mentioned Dre. That's like one of the biggest selling hip hop albums of all time. So you got to shout that out. I wanted to shout out Four Non Blondes, which is like not a good band at all, but that is one of my go-to karaoke songs.
You and my wife. My wife does what's going on all the time.
I do that whenever I go to karaoke. A friend of mine always do that.
Take away a man card for me, but I love What's Up, man. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a great song. What?
I don't know. It's one of those that like, and no matter what bar you're in, that at least there's a few people who are like.
My wife gets standing ovations when she does that because she's a singer. So.
That's cool. Yeah. I don't get any I don't think I get any applause at all, but I think it's a fun song.
Well, I don't because I go living in stereo.
I gotta shout out Rollins Band.
Oh,
I love
it. That's a great
shout
one.
that out. That's a band.
Yeah, the Enter Silence. Damn.
Good
yeah,
one.
I love him. Yeah, he you guys, a few of you guys did Dream Theater. Melvin's dropped an album this year, so we just saw him. Like Al said, that was Melvin's Ministry and Corrosion of Conformity all in one show, and I think I still am not hearing normally.
Yeah, that was a great show.
That was intense. It was amazing, and all those bands are still awesome. That's what was really cool is that like I've seen Melvin's before. I saw Corrosion open for Danzig maybe 3 years ago or so, and that they were just as good. So I was really happy with that. Boss Tones, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones drops one this year. I really like them a lot. I'm trying to think of what I missed. I don't know. We shouted out a lot of the same stuff, which is cool. And I have to shout out Black Crows because I didn't have it on my list. But yeah, I'll let Mark, what's your shout outs?
All right, you guys talked about REM Automatic for the People. I love that album. And then the rest of the albums none of you guys talked about. Def Leppard, Adrenalize. I know Jerry doesn't like that. Bon Jovi, Keep the Faith. This is something I thought you would pick, Jerry. Bad Company, Here Comes Trouble.
I forgot about that record, actually. So I mean,
the Second Lynch Mob with Robert Mason.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
good one. Good one.
Yeah. Wow.
Iron Maiden, Fear of the Dark.
Yeah.
The last
I'm
good
surprised
album.
somebody didn't have Maiden on one of theirs.
I was off the Maiden train by that time.
Talk about my background. I got nothing but Iron Maiden.
That's what I was.
That's why I thought you would have picked Maiden, Fear of the Dark.
Between you three,
I didn't even have that on my top 30, man. I completely forgot about that. Brain cramp.
And I picked Great White Psycho City.
I haven't heard it. I couldn't really.
And then Joe Satriani, he was in top 10, and then I changed it to Damn Yankees. Joe Satriani, The Extremists, great album.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
He's so good at anything
he does. His
so
last
good.
album kicked ass.
Yeah.
He's playing over here in Riverside. I don't have the money because I bought too many tickets. We're gonna see Aerosmith in July, so
that'll be cool.
And Ann Wilson in May, so.
Cool.
That's all mine. And then Rollins Band was a great one too.
Yeah, that's a good man.
Oh, Andy, Rancid. That's my brain is dead.
Okay.
The reason I was going to be late for this is because I was doing pre-cal prep. My brain is fried. But Rancid, that's the one. And then it was Bad Religion was Generation. So that's
Bad Religion. I love Bad Religion.
Yeah. That's another shout out to throw out there.
I love How Could Hell Be Any Worse? Great album.
Hold on. I'm almost done here.
You're good.
But I'll start off with REM Automatic for the People.
Yeah.
That's a great album. I was going back and forth on it. Okay. That one and Pavement Slanted and then Enchanted. Sonic Youth Dirty. I love
that's a great album.
Youth is good.
Just so different from anything that was out there. I mean, they weren't even left of the dial. They weren't even on the dial.
Can you believe they were born? Those two guys were born in the 50s.
Really? Huh.
Yeah,
so
Kim
weird.
Gordon and her husband in that band, and it's like they came out in the 90s, but they're freaking older than a lot of the freaking 90s artists.
And I had
a lot of the fans would have been a lot younger.
Yeah.
This was on the cusp. I was about to put it on there. The Cure with Wish. I love The Cure. That's a great album.
I love The Cure, but I didn't like that album that much.
Really, I liked A Letter to Elise. I got that on a 45.
That's
also.
Okay. Was Friday I'm in Love on that album?
Friday I'm in Love's on that album.
That's why I don't like that album.
I love that song. Love it.
I was listening to this the other day.
Oh, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me.
Yeah.
I saw you had taken a picture of that. And then Gin Blossoms, like Jerry had said, that was my honorable mention. The Ministry. I don't have the cover because it's over there because I was listening to the CD. The Ministry, the Megadeth Countdown to Extinction. I know that, and the Blind Melon.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
So good.
And I know that we weren't supposed to put any live albums, so I didn't mention it. But I love Eric Clapton Unplugged from beginning.
Yeah, that's really good.
If I was allowed, that would have made top 10 for me if it was been allowed. I love that.
Yeah, that's a great album. And what else did I have on here? The Soul Asylum Grave Dancer Union.
Yeah.
Social Distortion, Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell.
Oh, that's a great
Really
one
good
too.
album.
They're the Anaheim house band.
Yeah. And Al had mentioned this, Ice Cube, The Predator. I'm a big Ice Cube fan, especially when Death Certificate and America's Most Wanted came out.
Yeah.
America's Most Wanted was fantastic.
Yeah.
And Biohazard, Urban Disguise was also another good album. So those are my honorable mentions.
I didn't mention Prodigy. That's like a one that came out. It was a debut. Prodigy.
That band was wow.
Yeah,
I saw them open up for Linkin Park, and I went out and had beers till they finished. I went out in the concourse. Like I
it definitely is like an acquired taste band.
Yeah,
that's like a shout out. Like
there's no way they drops an album nowadays with some of the
Firestarter. That's the only song I knew by them, and I didn't want to know anymore.
Slap my B up, you know.
Yeah, you don't care about.
Yeah, you wouldn't get away with that nowadays.
I'm glad I saw Linkin Park. Linkin Park is really good.
Yeah.
They played back in '97 when Lollapalooza was touring. And for some reason, they had Tool in front of Prodigy. So after Tool, Prodigy came out. I think we left after a track or two. We're like,
yeah.
You know,
it's like the bass.
They are definitely
what was his bass? What was this like?
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah.
Like after Tool, you're like Tool should have closed it. After Tool, you don't want to hear anything else. That was the highlight. And then they came out. So.
That was like 97's like Prodigy's big year though. That's their big songs. Yeah.
And Korn was supposed to be on there too, but something happened and they didn't make it to that show.
You guys on that Eric Clapton Unplugged, every time that came on MTV, I went to see what was on VH1.
It was probably Eric Clapton Unplugged.
I'll probably listen to that tonight. I think it's fantastic. I know that Walmart has it on vinyl, but I've already got on CD and cassette, and I didn't want to buy it a third time. So.
Yeah.
I could have got all these Armored Saints on vinyl because they re-released them, but I'm just gonna get the CDs. I already have the original of this one from Armored Saint on vinyl, so I was good.
Well, I want to thank everybody for taking the time, and not just to being on this podcast, because putting these lists together takes time and effort. So I want to thank all of y'all. The next episode is going to be next Wednesday, at the same time, and the reason why I said that was funny when y'all were talking about Genesis, it's going to be a band battle. I'm going to put the albums of Genesis, their whole discography, against the discography of Yes.
Oh,
that's
shit.
Right there for me.
So
I already know who's winning that one for some reason.
And what's really cool is that their albums align almost per year, especially in the early 70s to the mid 80s. They almost released an album at the same time. So if y'all want to do that, let me know. And I'll put a feeler out for people that want to do that. So that'll be the next episode. It's going to be called Band Battle with Yes versus Genesis.
Are you just doing Peter Gabriel, John Anderson years?
No, everything.
Everything, even with
not everything.
John Anderson?
I will put all the albums against each other, and I'll send out a feeler, and I'll put who's going to go against what.
Okay.
It's probably going to end with Big Generator versus We Can't Dance.
Are you not going to do Talk?
When was Talk done?
Talk was after Big Generator. That was the last album.
That was the last Trevor Rabin album, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. But if y'all want to do that, let me know, and I'll put out the fielder for that, and the announcement, and the albums that are going to go against each other.
Because you could probably do Talk against the album without Phil Collins.
Against Station to Station.
Yeah, Station to Station.
Calling all stations. Yeah.
Calling all stations.
Calling all stations. Station to Station is David Bowie.
Yeah.
We got to give a shout out to Andy for orchestrating, because he's putting in extra work on top of what everybody else does.
Yeah, thank you, Andy.
Thank you,
Andy. You rule, brother.
Oh yeah,
these are always fun.
Me, man. This is a blast.
Man, I love doing this. Believe me, Andy
does what I do on my other two shows.
Orchestrating something, man. Getting everybody together. Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, because y'all also give y'all's time for this and stuff like that. So I want to thank y'all, and thank y'all out there at Facebook.
Yeah, all our listeners and
YouTube, and the people leaving comments. Thank you so much. Yeah. And anything else that's going on, Al? What's going on with your page with B Core B Podcast Out on YouTube? Anything new on there?
No, not really. It's just still putting up concerts and shit like that. So
that's a great name for a podcast, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, me and him are trying to beat each other for Rush news.
I can't wait to get the new box set this Friday. So
oh yeah, that's coming too.
boy.
I'm like, yes, I want the drumstick so bad.
It's like Al's birthday on Friday.
That's the first box set I've ever bought, except the Sabotage CD one from Black Sabbath.
I'll probably do like an unboxing video or something on it.
Well, boss, we're gonna be trying to. Yeah, we're both gonna do that.
You guys should do it at the same time.
You should do it at the same time, man.
Yeah,
I know.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Friday, my wife and I we're gonna go see America Friday night.
Nice.
Ooh.
Sister Gold.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
I'm going
very
to see
excited.
I'm going to see John Fogerty tomorrow night.
Oh, dude, that's awesome, dude.
And then,
I think twice. He kicks ass.
and then Saturday night, I'm going to see Transatlantic, which is Mike Portnoy and Neil Morse and Pete Chiralis from Marillion. It's like a super group, so I'm going to check them out Saturday night. So
I can't wait for the new Winery Dogs. I love those two albums.
yeah.
I'm surprised I wouldn't go see American. That's a band I thought I would never go see, so I'm excited to go see them.
That'll be fun, man.
And free show.
No name, good stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. Very Ventura Highway.
Yeah.
Sister Golden Hair. Such good things.
Good album to get stoned to.
I feel like you guys feel like this about a lot of albums.
And tomorrow on the BS sessions with Mark and Jerry, they're gonna be talking grunge, right, guys?
Yes.
Or that era.
What is
grunge? Niners.
I feel like you guys aren't the biggest fans of grunge.
I love grunge, but I don't think a lot of stuff that people say grunge is grunge.
It's grunge.
And Kate, what's going on with you with your sales and all?
You guys can check me out. I have a few different pages that I do like the raffle thing on. I am finishing up my semester in a couple weeks, so I have some auctions coming up, so I can post some stuff about my auctions if you guys like record auctions. Yeah, nothing too exciting right now because I'm really, really busy with all my crazy school crap, but we'll get back to it. Summertime, springtime, summertime's coming. I always get more free time.
The thing is with record auctions, I keep bidding higher and higher because I want to win. I don't like losing. So that's why I don't do them anymore. Because then all of a sudden,
then you're like, oh, I paid double for this album. Yeah, I don't do. I try to play it safe on my auctions. Like when I'm watching them or buying stuff, you got to be careful. The pissing contest thing is always interesting because it'd be like, oh, this album went for 3 times as much as it's worth.
I paid $80 for the Great Radio Controversy from Tesla, the record store version.
Yeah,
I wanted that so bad.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of money to pay for that.
I wonder if Tesla's going to do a show here in October. I wonder if they're going to release a big tour coming up because they're playing here in October at the House of Blues.
They're just releasing singles. They said they're just going to release singles because Shock was such a horrible album. So that new single they released, Cold Blue, still rules. It's like old Tesla, yeah.
Oh my god! If you watch my auctions, I sold a beautiful copy of that Radio Controversy in OG for like $35. I got robbed on it myself, but it was those things happen that nobody else is bidding on it, and the person bidding for that. So it's like, yeah, I'll keep an eye peeled. If you guys that Great Radio Controversy Tesla, but if you guys send me lists of stuff that you're keeping an eye out for, I'll keep an eye out for you. I have this insane wall of sticky notes. It looks like I'm trying to solve a murder, but it's just lists of shit that people are looking for.
I want 5-man acoustical jam and Bust a Nut. I don't know if they released Bust a Nut on.
You have to text. You have to send me a message because I'll never remember it. I'll never ever remember shit like that. But yeah, anybody's looking for something, I will try to keep my eyes out because I buy collections a lot, and you never know what I'm going to find. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I got that 5-man on cassette.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. Anything else? Anybody?
Good show, guys.
Yeah, just this guy died a month ago and nobody knew about it.
Oh yeah,
you were saying that. No, Monk.
Yeah, they're doing the auction. They sold most of the good stuff, and I'm like, damn, that sucks.
And I just want to send a shout out to the one and only Gilbert Godfrey. We lost him.
I know. It's so sad.
he entertained us all from a very young age to so he
Problem
passed away.
Child, man. I love that movie.
Yeah,
Problem
I
Child.
love his
Sidney
comedy.
Bernstein, man, from Beverly Hills Cop. He was funny in that.
Iago from
I go from Aladdin.
Yeah.
But his
Yeah, he was
stand
great,
up,
man.
the thing I respect the most about him doing stand up is like he would push the crowd. He knew the crowd was getting uncomfortable with something and he would just stick with it. He always was himself. So that's such a cool thing about a comedian because I'm super into stand up.
That's what it's all about.
What a voice.
Man,
You know.
we need freaking laughter this time.
Yeah.
And
possible.
And there's a really good documentary on Hulu called Godfrey. I caught it a few months ago, and talks about his everyday life with his wife and his family, and how he would take buses all around town. I mean, that was his transportation.
He's a simple dude, man.
He would just take a bus. I never got to see him live, but I could tell when I would hear his CDs, you could feel that he would say things and people would get uncomfortable, and he'd push the envelope and get and go more and more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
I got to see him live once. He played right here in my town.
Yeah, that is so cool. Yeah, I wanted to see him when we were in New York and it was sold out, and then even like the Comedy Cellar does a standby line, and we didn't even have luck doing that. We waited and did that, but
the only comedian I've ever seen live was Sam Kinison, and he was awesome.
Oh wow,
he'd be a trip. Yeah.
Wild
man.
But it's so odd that last week we were talking about comedians, the older comedians that aren't around anymore, and we released Gilbert Gottfried, one of the ones that were fearless and would say whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, anywhere he wanted.
Yeah.
So they just don't make them like that anymore.
No.
So I want to send a shout out for him and be sure that we mentioned him, because even though it's not music, it was stand-up comedy is one of the hardest forms of art. You stand on a stage, there's no band around you. It's just you and the microphone, and all the attention is on that person.
Right. And especially now, like cancel culture stuff, to like be a stand-up and just not back down, like not have those excuses of like apology stuff, like just stand your ground in certain aspects.
Or now they're backtracking.
Anything you said in a tweet or something stupid that can be held against you later. Yeah,
you got to.
You're a different person. That's always
how we need George Carlin.
Yeah. I read the stuff that I posted on Facebook like a decade ago, and I'm like, who the hell? Like, who was I? I was so stupid. You can't hold that against someone.
All my stuff on Facebook that's been 10 years ago has been erased because they canceled me.
It's probably a good thing though. Be happy that that's gone.
Well,
we need George Carlin and Bill Hicks back.
Oh my God, George Carlin would have had a field day in the last
Richard
6
Pryor.
years.
Yeah.
All those guys would have been.
Mitch Hedberg was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Mitch
old Eddie Murphy.
I love Hedberg.
Old Eddie Murphy, not the.
Yeah.
The delirious Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I remember staying up late when I was a kid just to watch it on HBO, and just listening.
That's another one. Yeah, that's another like cutthroat comedian. Yeah.
I heard Eddie Murphy wants to go do stand-up after he does Beverly Hills Cop 4.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Is he going to do a part 4?
Yeah, it's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I
They
love
just got the producer for it, I think, or the director, I think.
Yeah, they got the director.
Man, part 1 and part 2 are just great.
I like 3 too. I like 3 too.
Yeah.
Okay. You have Jagger in it. It was still funny.
Banana the tailpipe. Great stuff. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. Thank y'all so much for tonight.
Thank you.
Al, Jerry, Kate, Mark. We all say bye to everybody that's watching us and everyone that will watch us in the future. Thank you all. And I will be talking to y'all throughout the week. Bye, guys.
All right, bye.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Take
guys.
it easy, guys.